Find out about it.
The Rockies, the fresh of the Rockies. Brewed the Coors way, natural and pure.
Coors to you, the clean of it, all night through the fresh of it. Rocky Mountain Gold, you got it. The best of the Rockies is yours.
Whatever happened to those kids in Steven Spielberg's movies once they stop being scared and start growing up? Next on Breakaway.
Downtown Miami lit up, coming up after the game.
Because of the following CBS Sports Special, the CBS Saturday Night Movies will not be presented this evening.
The Orange Bowl in Miami, the site of many big events. The location of tonight's game between Notre Dame and Miami. It's a big college football weekend for this South Florida city. The Hurricane fans are calling this the most dramatic regular season game in the history of the university. It likewise is an important game, a crossroads game, a big game for Gerry Faust of Notre Dame. The legendary coaches of Notre Dame, Knute Rockne, Frank Leahy, Gerry Faust. Gerry Faust came to South Bend with great expectation, and in year one, he was #1 after one. But Notre Dame can be the season for most teams, and that reality set in. And year one was a constant struggle to reach 500. Year two, the optimism returned, and Gerry Faust greeted his incoming freshmen.
Glad to have you here. I'm going to be tough on you. I'll be awful tough on you. I'm going to make you excel, both in the classroom and on the field. We're going to have the best football team we can have, and we're going to have the best student we can have.
The Irish won their first 4 games. Then came the shocker. Arizona upset Notre Dame in South Bend, and year two came apart at the seams. But when you're Notre Dame, the people believe. In year three, the believers put the Irish at the top again. An impressive win at Purdue, and the people began to think this was the team that would wake up the echoes. But the march was rudely halted last week by the Spartans of Michigan State. So Gerry Faust has reached a crossroad. A win tonight puts him back on the path he so dearly desires. The path that Rockne, Leahy, Parsegian have traveled. The path of prominence so very expected at Notre Dame.
The following is an exclusive presentation of CBS Sports. From the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida, it's the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame versus the Miami Hurricanes. Sponsored by Chevrolet. America is on the move, and Chevrolet is supplying the wheels. Chevrolet and you taking charge. Mr. Goodwrench and General Motors Parts. And by National Car Rental. We give you national attention, and that's the truth.
A crowd of 60,000 expected here in the Orange Bowl. It's been raining from time to time, the wind gusting, but the field in excellent playing condition. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Bender. Notre Dame would like to get back on track with a win tonight, but it's not going to be easy because the Miami Hurricanes are tough here in the Orange Bowl. Howard Schnellenberger's team has won 20 of their last 22 games. It's been a big day in college football. So we're going to go to New York for an update on scores and highlights. Here is Brent Musburger and Gerry Parsegian.
All right, Gary, thank you. Indeed, it has been a big day, Coach. And how about that one that is brewing down south right now? Vanderbilt scored the first time it touched the ball, and they lead Alabama now 17-7. What a job that Vanderbilt coach has done.
McIntyre's done a remarkable job at Vanderbilt. That's a tough place to coach. He's won some games he probably shouldn't have, and he might again tonight.
Well, let's take a look at the action. Again, on their first possession, it was first down, and Kirk Page going back. Here is Chuck Scott, 60-yard touchdown, and Vanderbilt goes ahead 7-0. Short time after that, Page was handing off to Carl Woods, and Woods powered in for the score. Then they kicked the field goal. It was 17-0. before finally Alabama went on the drive. And Walter Lewis, their talented quarterback, took it in. And right now, it is 17-7. They are late in the second quarter there. And LSU right now leading Washington 10-7. They are in the first quarter of that game. North Texas State has taken a 6-2 lead over the second-ranked Texas Longhorns. The Longhorns were on the board, and North Texas State snapped right back. Meanwhile, TCU leads SMU by 7 points, the result of a blocked punt there. And Mississippi is shutting out Arkansas 10-0. They are in the second quarter of that game. Purdue is ahead of Minnesota 13-10. They are in the second quarter there. And the upset of the day, of course, happened out west. Kansas stunned 10th-ranked USC 26-20. And so that gets you up to date. We'll have highlights throughout the evening on Vanderbilt, Alabama, and also LSU, Washington. Coach, what about the strategy now that Gerry Faust might employ tonight against Miami in the Orange Bowl?
Well, they're really concerned about the Miami passing game, and for good reason. And they've got a defensive dilemma, believe me, because you see, last week they tried to blitz Michigan State passer, and they got burned. They tried to drop off and cover, and they couldn't get to the passer. So the key for the fans tonight is to watch to see whether or not Notre Dame can get a pass rush on Kosar, the quarterback.
What about the pressure on Coach Faust, both external and internal at Notre Dame?
Well, I guess I can speak from experience on that point. I think it's three-dimensional in a sense. First of all, you got to talk about maybe some disenchanted followers. That's one thing. They have no impact. The administration, there's no problem for Gerry, because the administration keeps things in its proper perspective. For Gerry, I can't answer that question. I do know that he has a sensitivity, and most of the pressure I know is self-inflicted. It's internal. And I suppose this is a very, very big game for Gerry, from my own past experience, but I think he'll hang in there tough.
Well, a very good friend of yours, of course, is Coach Howard Schnellenberger down in Miami. He has agreed to allow us inside the locker room for the pregame pep talk. Obviously, we are not going to interrupt his prayer at this particular moment, but we will be joining him now for some comments. Now, let us go in live, and here is Coach Howard Schnellenberger.
All right, now listen up. It's been a long time since last year. It's been almost a year now since we were up there in Notre Dame's field. Wasn't our day that day. But now the new time has come. You've worked hard. You've been in this thing for a long time. You've gotten better and better. The day is the day we go out and see how far we've come. Now look, wait a minute now, wait a minute. We got the first half to play. Can't do anything about the second half yet. But we got 30 minutes to go out there and play Miami Hurricane football. I want you to go out there loose. I want you to go out there with poise and confidence and do the things that you've been doing. And when that happens, only the best things happen to you. Defense, we're going to stop them at the line of scrimmage, make them throw the football. Go! Offensive football team's going to make damn sure that we control that line of scrimmage and we have an opportunity to throw the football. All together now, let's take it to them.
So Coach Howard Schnellenberger and the Miami Hurricanes are ready, and we'll have that kickoff for you from the Orange Bowl coming up on CBS in just a moment.
Dad, look at this one.
Come see the Olympics in a whole new way. Come discover stamp collecting and salute women in the Olympics.
I hope that's me one day.
Then it will be. So come to the post office and start your collection with the 1984 Olympic Series featuring women.
Beatico Creek, Louisiana, and Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. Beatico Creek means bass, fat and tasty, and Milwaukee means beer, cold, crisp, Old Milwaukee beer, and the smooth golden light taste of Old Milwaukee Light.
Old Milwaukee.
And Old Milwaukee Light
Tastes as great as their name.
Let me tell you, it doesn't get any better than this.
Back at the Orange Bowl, we're moments away from the kickoff between Notre Dame and Miami, and here come the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. This is the first of 4 straight road trips for the Fighting Irish. And they want to get back on track with a win here tonight. And now here's the Miami Hurricanes. Bring in our broadcasting partner, Pat Heed. We've been looking forward to this one, Pat. You know, Notre Dame has never had a quarterback start 4 years. Blair Keel is the man that's done that. He got married on July 30th to his high school sweetheart. He has matured, but, Pat, he's been inconsistent in his play.
Well, that has been his story. He played very well on week 1 through 3 interceptions last week, Gary. I expect to see Blair Keel come out and throw some short, control-type passes to get his confidence back.
This Irish team has good speed. They're averaging 311 yards on the ground. You talk about speed. What about that tandem of Alan Pinkett and Greg Bell?
Oh, what an offensive line they had to play behind. They averaged 6'5 and a half, 272 pounds. They like to pull and trap, and Pinkett and Bell like to hide behind those guys, wait for that opening to occur, then dart through it.
The Miami football fortunes will be on the shoulders of Bernie Kosar. He's a redshirt freshman. He's a brilliant student. He's improving each week. And Patty understands the complexities of the Miami offense.
And look for Bernie Kosar to try to take advantage of the youth at Notre Dame's linebackers, particularly with his tight end, Dennison. I think that's the story. Kosar to Dennison and the offensive line of Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's rushing attack against the passing of Miami. The past 2 years, this has become a very emotional rivalry. We'll be back, Notre Dame and Miami.
John Hausman for the investment firm of Smith Barney.
Buy low, sell high. Every investor's goal. But the astutely managed portfolio strikes a balance of the right investments. It should anticipate any eventuality. Smith Barney. They make money the old-fashioned way. They earn it.
You're all set, sir.
Good time.
You're watching a ticket agent's class at the American Airlines Learning Center. Here we taught Debbie Bridges the fastest way to get you through the airport with our one-stop check-in. Now she can give you boarding passes for all your flights at once.
Here, let me.
But some things we didn't have to teach her.
Now smile.
We're American Airlines, doing what we do best.
Here with us in the Orange Bowl, a member of the NCAA Today crew, and down on our sideline, he's just returned from the Notre Dame dressing room, our own Pat O'Brien.
Thank you, Gary. The Notre Dame locker room was quiet for about 15 minutes. Nobody talked, and the team had their own meeting. Then Gerry Faust came out, and he talked about games that Notre Dame had played here in the Orange Bowl, where Notre Dame had come back to upset everybody. He talked specifically about 1957, when Notre Dame upset #1 Oklahoma and shocked the college football world. He used it to make the point that a Notre Dame football player is a special breed of player. And as Blair Keel said, it's all up to us now. The coaching is done for the time being pregame. They're on the field now, and we'll see if they are the special breed of player they are that Gerry Faust said they would be. Let's go back up to you, Gary.
All right, Pat, glad to have you with us. The flip of the coin as we take a look at first the game conditions. The temperature not as high, I don't believe, as Notre Dame figured it would be, 77 degrees. But look at the relative humidity, and we have had rains coming in here throughout the day and may before this game is over. Our officials, we have a split crew from the Southern Independent Collegiate Officials Association and the Big Ten. Tommy Miller will be the referee out of Jonesboro, Tennessee. And he has Tom Manning, Hunter Jackson, Tom Barnes, Jim Campbell, and Harold Mitchell. The flip of the coin, as you look at this series, Notre Dame leading at 13-2-1 and winning last year in the last 11 seconds, 16-14. But the flip of the coin ended up being won by Miami. But with the new rule this year, you can waive off your option and take it in the second half. Miami did just that. As an end result, Gerry Faust will be receiving as Harold Schnellenberger's team will be kicking off. And this will be Jeff Davis, number 3, a senior out of Clearwater, Florida. deep goes Joe Howard for Notre Dame. And Gordon Bell. A dramatic weekend here for the Miami area, and it's ready to get underway. Davis with a win to his and there'll be no return. At the 20, Notre Dame will be setting it up. All right, let's take a look at the backfield and receivers.
Blair Keel bouncing back from 3 interceptions last week. Critical game for him.
Watch Chris Smith. He hasn't carried the ball much, but the Irish staff really likes him. He's strong, he's rugged. And up front, what a change they're having. Winley is starting along with Golick, as Chanel is out of the lineup, and also out of the lineup is Mike Shiner with knee injury. From the 20, first down. Blair Keel to throw, complete to Joe Howard. And Howard advances the ball for 6 yards. It'll bring up second down and 4. Defensively now for Miami. They are not big, but they're active.
Tony Fitzpatrick, the nose guard. He's the man that fortresses the front there.
Their linebacking is excellent. Jay Brophy is a man they feel should be an All-American.
Ken Sisk, their leading tackler. Good speed there in the defensive backs, Gary.
Reggie Sutton is just a freshman at the 1 cornerback spot for the Hurricanes. Second down, 2 yards to go, a pickup of 8. Keel on a delay handoff to Alan Pinkett. Good reaction that time by Rodney Bellinger, number 4 out of Coral Gables, Florida. Lost on the play.
This first series for Miami's defense is pretty important, Gary, in that the last 3 weeks Miami has played their first series defensively. They've let the offensive team drive the length of the football field. They wanted to come out and give Notre Dame some different looks here in the first series, stop them on 3 plays and force them to punt.
Blair Keel, I noticed, threw that little pass to get some confidence a while ago. And so from the 25-yard line, it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Fighting Irish. Keel up the middle, Chris Smith, and Smith is very close to the first down. It looks like he has it. Ken Calhoun, number 2, the strong safety, making the stop for Miami, and the Fighting Irish have their initial first down. Notre Dame with Blair Keel, 1-1. Howard Schnellenberger not too happy about the fact they let him off the hook on a 3rd and 5. Mike Favorite has come in at wide receiver for the Irish. Keel to Pinkett. And Pinkett will not get the corner turn. Now, that's the speed of Notre Dame figures to be an advantage. But 2 times they haven't gotten the corner turn.
Miami is good when you're trying to run east-west against them. And those pitch plays are not going to be successful. I think Notre Dame's going to have to take it to them up front. We mentioned how big that offensive line of Notre Dame is. I think they need to go north-south.
Julio Cortez, a defensive end, made the tackle on Pinkett. It comes to a 2nd down and 9 for the Irish. Howard has come out, and Alonzo Jefferson, a freshman from here in the West Palm Beach area, comes in at wide receiver. And we have a timeout, as they're going to have some problems, I believe, with the scoreboard clock. We have 12:32 left showing on the clock, and so we adjust the scoreboard clock. We'll return to the Orange Bowl, where there'll be a 2nd down and 9 for Notre Dame.
Chevy Tough is taking charge with a big USA 1 truck sell-a-thon. We're out to sell 75,000 trucks by October 1st, with 200,000 trucks from coast to coast. This is dealing time, and year-end allowances on 83s can mean great clearance prices. Get specially equipped Chevy S10 pickups and maxi cabs with V6 engine at no extra cost, or buy specially equipped full-size pickups with automatic transmission or air conditioning at no extra cost. USA 1 sell-a-thon at your Chevy dealers now.
I've seen hot tubs before, but this is ridiculous. I can't help it. Who does you know? Just kidding.
You can save her in Atari Jungle Hunt, just like the arcade classic. Fight man eating crocodiles. Dodge deadly boulders.
Oh, wouldn't you rather order out?
Outsmart hungry headhunters.
I know a great little Italian place. Hi, Jungle Hunt. Please, hurry.
Jungle Hunt, new from Atari.
Monday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain, you will enter a world of passion and pride, honor and deceit. Emerald Point NAS, a special 2-hour premiere.
The ball at the 32-yard line. That delay, they actually charged the timeout to Notre Dame. It will remain with 2 now in this first half of play. Blair Keel. Lots of time. Hits Favero, the tight end. Mark Favero, a sophomore from Danvers, Massachusetts. He'll be a couple of yards short of the first down to the 41-yard line.
We're going to take a look again at the philosophy of Notre Dame that we talked about. Blair Keel is going to throw some short passes underneath the coverage. You can see that Miami's linebacker is dropping deep. Blair Keel is running a little route to his tight end right over the middle. Number 82, Mark Favero, underneath the coverage of Miami. A nice call, picked up about 6 yards.
You saw Reggie Sutton flying through the air to make the stop. Third down along to a busted play. And Keel just runs for his life. On 3rd and 2, they miss a handoff.
3rd and 2, you can't do that, Gary. Those are the kind of situations that keep drives alive. Those kind of mistakes are going to hurt you.
So Blair Keel, the senior from Columbus, Indiana, will go back and punt. Here is the freshman, Bernie Kosar, out of Ohio. He has played so well, tossing 3 touchdown passes last week. Here is Keel. Keel averaging 45.1 this year. Ed Brown back deep for Miami. He'll be kicking into a very gusty wind. And he did not hit it at all. That will go out at the 42 of Miami. A 20-yard kick by Blair Keel, who leads the Irish in career punting average. But that will not help his average. All right, let's set now offensively the Miami Hurricanes. Kosar at quarterback.
Just a freshman with remarkable composure.
And Speedy Neal, excellent receiver coming out of the backfield. Up front, watch Dennis in the tight end.
And they've only allowed 5 sacks, that offensive line.
From the 43, Miami, first opportunity. Kosar avoids the rush. Dumps it off to Bentley, Albert Bentley, and he's got a first down.
Miami's not going to waste any time here. You saw Bernie Kosar. We talked about his composure. We talked about his intelligence. They come right after Notre Dame with a fake to the fullback. He's trying to get the ball downfield, avoids the rush, throws the ball off balance, but manages to get it to number 16, Bentley, for the first down.
That was a 13-yard pickup on the play. Bentley, by the way, his teammates don't even want to tackle him in practice. He delivers such a blow.
Kosar, Howard Schnellenberger says, can see the whole field, and we saw that right there.
First down just inside the 45 of the Irish. Kosar to Bentley. This time, nothing. Mike Kovaleski, number 49, the freshman from Newcastle, Indiana, playing in place of the injured Mike Larkin, who they missed so much, and a man that will be tested. Bentley, this year, against Houston, gained 75 yards following the passing away of his brother, who had drowned during the week, showing great courage in playing.
Remarkable story.
Second down, 10. Kosar to Shakespeare. Stanley Shakespeare, their leading receiver. 14th catch. Stacy Torren on the play, a 9-yard pickup, a yard short of the first down. Shakespeare has been a surprise this year out of Boynton Beach, Florida. Last year, he caught only 4 passes, already 14 this year. Third down, a yard. This is Speedy Neal, and he has the first down. Speedy Neal out of Key West, Florida. First down for Miami, and now let's go to New York for an NCAA report. Here is Brent Musburger.
Gary, Alabama has come storming back against Vanderbilt. Here's their talented quarterback, Walter Lewis. His receivers were covered. He scrambled 11 yards for a touchdown at the half. It is 17 all. Back to Gary and Pat.
Alabama tying it up. There's no score here. First down for Miami. Speedy Neal, but flags everywhere. Looks like somebody left the mark prematurely.
Early here in the game, though, we've seen the different philosophies of Miami and Notre Dame. When Notre Dame was on offense, we talked about those short passes, illegal procedure. We're going to set the defense here, Gary.
Well, this Notre Dame defense being tested, especially the young linebackers. But look up front. Mike Golick had a good game last week.
And John Autry, the nose tackle, he's going to see a lot of action as well.
And they'd like to have a big game out of Mike Gann. And there is Kovalevsky, the freshman. Berjanik, a sophomore.
That's the youth we talked about. Here's the strength, perhaps, of Notre Dame's defense. They're big, tall, rangy, angular guys who can really hit you.
The penalty makes it first down. 15 yards to go. Neal, Bentley in the backfield. Brown, Shakespeare, split out. Kozar with protection. Broken up and intercepted by Naylor. Rick Naylor, a senior from Cincinnati, number 37, with a big defensive play. Naylor played at Moeller High School, played for Gerry Faust in high school, making the play, turning it over. Notre Dame will have it at their own 36. There's no score.
When people pump their own gas, they sometimes forget to check things. So when they come in for service...
Mr. Goodwrench, there's something wrong.
Well, let's take a look.
Mr. Goodwrench knows your GM car. He has the right tools and the right GM training available to spot your problems fast.
Mr. Goodwrench?
Nothing serious. Just needs a tune-up. By the way, your oil is low. Here's how to check.
Keep that great GM feeling.
With Mr. Goodwrench.
With genuine GM parts.
Yes, sir. Ready to launch. Temperature, 45 below. Angle, 45 degrees. T-minus 47, 46, 45. Fire!
45 and explosion. Loaded with dynamite. So get on with my whole with.
The membership of the National Federation of State High School Associations coordinates interscholastic activities programs for over 20,000 high schools nationwide. Millions of boys and girls benefit from the values of these essential activities, which are inherently educational and enhance classroom performance.
One of the advantages Miami felt they had was the height of Bernie Kosar. Now, he is 6'5", but he's going to throw right there. Number 37, Rick Naylor, who is 6'3", tips the ball, makes a very athletic play. After he tips it, he comes up with the interception. Number 37, right there, Rick Taylor.
Moeller High School in Cincinnati. From the 36, first down for the Irish. Heel back to Pinkett. And Pinkett, sophomore from Sterling, Virginia, a jitterbug-type runner. Ken Sisk, 36, making the stop for the Hurricanes.
Take a look at All-American candidate Jay Brophy, number 54 from Miami. He's the guy who has to plug up the middle. Now, this time he's going to slide to the outside. They call him the Bionic Man because he's come from so many injuries. But he kind of bounced in there, tried to help his teammates put the stop on Pinkett.
And Brophy is from Akron, Ohio. Most of the players from Florida on Miami, but not Brophy. Second down, 7 to go. Pinkett. And Pinkett very close to the first down. Ken Sisk again making the stop. Sisk is the leading tackler, and Alan Pinkett, what a delightful man he is. Very articulate. He and Greg Bell alternate, and they have a great relationship. Just short of the first down, third down. Two tight ends, Favero and Beamer. Brian Beamer will check in for the Irish. Line of scrimmage just across the 45. Pinkett, flags on the play. He has enough for the first down, but let's see what the penalty is. Reggie Sutton coming up to make the tackle. And we're going to have illegal procedure against Notre Dame.
That's two critical errors Notre Dame has made on third down. Remember, 3rd and 2 in the last series. Blair Keel did not get the ball on the handoff, and that's this time on 3rd and short to come up with a penalty.
So the 5-yard step up will bring up third down again.
take a look at the offensive line of Notre Dame. We talked about their size. This time they're going to go over the right side over Neil Mowney and Larry Williams, the All-American candidate. You're going to see number 63 there, Mike Kelly, the center there, putting a block on somebody.
They want to run right because of the injuries to Shiner and Scannell. They were running right that time.
Well, they're used on that right side of the offensive line.
3rd down, 7. Heel, little congestion. And he's going to be short of the 1st down. That's Ken Sisk again. That's 3 times we've called his number on a tackle in this series. Notre Dame will have to kick. And Blair Keel must be wondering what he has to do to kick into this win after that 20-yard boost earlier. Back deep, Ed Brown out of Miami. $8:17 to go in the 1st quarter. Keel this time does a decent job with it. Brown up, almost runs into his own man at the 25. So from the 25, 1st down for Miami, a 31-yard punt. Let's go now into the stands to join Pat O'Brien.
Thank you, Gary. You know, they're calling this weekend Classic College Football Weekend. There's a little history to it. In 1980, they had the Liberty City riots here, and because of those, they had some problems recruiting at Miami. Those have been patched up, but they thought they'd use the Notre Dame here to show off the city a little bit. They've had 75, 80 organized events all week, pep rallies for both sides, for and against, and tonight they're leaving the city lights on, one of the most expensive Saturday night electric bills in the history of Miami, but they hope to get some tourism off it. Let's go back to Gary.
That's Keith Griffin on the carry. Stacy Torin made the tackle, but there's a flag on the play. Say that Pat O'Brien's in good shape. He's clear up at the top of the stadium. That didn't
Patrick
take long.
O'Brien, I wonder who he's rooting for.
So the penalty now, negating the run by Keith Griffin. There's Stacy Torrance. Torrance, you see his left wrist there. It has a fiberglass cast on it. He's really playing like a one-armed man in that secondary.
Notre Dame on offense. Motion. We've seen a number of penalties here this 1st half, and Notre Dame particularly has been guilty of that. On 3rd down, we mentioned the misplay by Blair Keel. We had another penalty on 3rd and short. It's been sloppy here in this 1st quarter.
Well, they're coming off of that stunner last week against Michigan State at home. There's the oxygen. I still believe Notre Dame feels they've gotten away with a break in the weather. Even though it's gusty, it's maybe 10 to 12 degrees cooler than they anticipated.
Well, we talked again about the top of the show, how we felt that Notre Dame's offensive line was going to dominate there at the line of scrimmage. Well, let's give Miami's defensive front some credit. Fitzpatrick and Robinson and Cameron and those people have held their own against being outweighed by about 30 pounds.
Kozar will bring him out after the penalty. They refused it. 2nd down and 9. He drills one to Dennison, the tight end. He's close to the 1st down. Glenn Dennison, his 16th catch of the year out of Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania.
We talked about earlier Bernie Kosar trying to take advantage of the young play of the Notre Dame linebackers. You can see right there, Glenn Dennison actually has a strong safety. Joe Johnson, one-on-one. The ball thrown a little bit behind him. We'll get another look. But they want to take advantage of this man. As Gary mentioned, he's caught 15 balls coming into the game. He's wide open. The ball was thrown right there at the numbers. Easily caught for, well, it's still 3rd down.
It was the 1st down. They just made it, Pat, by maybe the half the length of football. You know, you mentioned Dennison. Dennison out of Beaver Falls. Nobody wanted to recruit him, but he's high school coach. Of course, that's the same town that Joe Namath came from. Called up and with a plea asked Howard Schnellenberger to take him. Schnellenberger, that may have been one of the better moves he's made.
It's a good decision.
Brown and Shakespeare split out. 1st down for the Hurricanes. Kozar with all kinds of time. He hit Keith Griffin. And Griffin, from the family of Griffins in Columbus, Ohio, has a 13-yard pickup for a 1st down.
Kosar, number 20, he wanted to throw this ball deep. You're going to see the fake first there to Keith Griffin, number 44. Now, he's trying to go the ball downfield. You see him looking downfield. He pump fakes there. Now, here's his patient that he finds. He sees the whole field. Dumps the ball off to Griffin. here's the defensive coverage of Notre Dame. What they're trying to do is play the straight zone. You see the free safety there hanging in the middle, trying to take away any inside routes.
And while we're in that replay, a little fake draw to Albert Bentley, and that did not fool Mike Golick of Notre Dame. And Golick, who played so well in that Michigan State loss, he's one of the 3 Golicks to play for the Fighting Irish. He and his brother Greg with a starting nod, and of course Bob Golick, the former All-American. Second down, 11. Moved, and that'll be 5 yards. And they mean Paul Berticelli, 79, a redshirt freshman out of Miami. Boy, this afternoon has been something. Pat, you and I were watching back in the hotel, and a few shockers. How about USC getting beat?
Oh, you had to bring that up, didn't you? That hurts me.
The Berticelli, there is Wake Forest over Richmond. Syracuse, they played well the last 2 weeks. And Iowa State over Colorado State. Missouri had a tough time with Utah State. Navy. It's now second down, 17. Kozar on the button to Dennison. And that combination may be called a lot tonight. That's a 9-yard pickup. Still going to be about 7, maybe 8 yards short of the first down.
Yeah, but Kozar didn't force that ball downfield. Again, we saw his patience. He got half of it back, and he ends up being 3rd and 7.
The line of scrimmage, the 50-yard line. 6:06 to go in the first quarter. No score. Kozar's hit 4 of 5 now for 40 yards. He has suffered the interception. To throw. Trying to come up with it again was Dennison. And they'll have to kick the football. Kozar has a 3.9 grade point average on a 4-point system.
We're going to look here at the defensive coverage. Now, Notre Dame has a blitz on. If you watch there in the middle, you can see the linebackers step up. They're going to come late, man-to-man coverage. Joe Johnson, number 27, against Glenn Dennison. The ball is thrown a little bit low, but probably catchable.
The kick will be Rick Tootin. He's had a difficult time in the first 3 games and back deep. Greg Bell. Here's Tootin. He hasn't been hitting it very well, and he didn't hit it well there, but he's going to get a roll. Back for the touchback. At the 20, Notre Dame will have it, and Tootin will have a 50-yard kick, but he'd like to have downed it inside the 10. Notre Dame, Miami. No score at the 5:53 mark.
Make your move to Chevrolet's new Celebrity. Move into the comfort of more passenger room than 98 out of 101 imports. Move into Celebrity and the traction of front drive. Try to find any other front drive automobile that gives you more passenger room for less. And you.
Kendall Motor Oil protects engines from friction. To prove how well, we plated ordinary piston rings with pure gold and ran them inside this engine for 5,000 miles. Kendall friction fighters are better than car makers demand. But can Kendall protect even soft gold? Look, no visible wear. That's protection. Friction-fighting Kendall Motor Oil. For protection worth its weight in gold.
Tomorrow on the NFL Today, a profile of Seattle coach Chuck Knox. Then a doubleheader spotlighting the New Orleans Saints against the Dallas Cowboys. Then the Los Angeles Rams meet the New York Jets, plus other regional action. Tomorrow on CBS Sports.
For the next 4 years, he's the quarterback for Miami, Bernie Kozar. But talking of quarterbacks, what pressure you have being the Notre Dame quarterback?
Oh, there's tremendous pressure, Gary. We'll talk about it after this play.
Blair Keel has Bell and Brooks in the backfield. And this is Mark Brooks out of Cincinnati, a junior, number 35, advancing the ball.
There is tremendous pressure on Blair Keel and anybody who steps underneath the center at Notre Dame. You think about the quarterbacks they've had, Gary. They had Terry Hanratty. They had the Joe Montanas, the Joe Theismanns. Actually, the last 2 quarterbacks who've won the Super Bowl have come from Notre Dame. You feel that pressure.
And Blair Keel will now bring him out with a second down and 6. Howard and Jackson, the split out. Keel gives to Bell. And Bell works hard, but only gets about a yard. Defensively, Ken Calhoun, number 2, strong safety. And Calhoun is one of the real hitters in that Miami secondary. Gerry Faust, talk about pressure. They need to get back on track.
He's tried to respond to the pressure, too, Gary. He's changed his program a little bit. Turned over his offense to Ron Hudson, bright young offensive coordinator. Brought in Mal Moore from Alabama.
3rd down, 4 for the Irish. Keel with time. Broken up. Fine play by Reggie Sutton, number 1. Now, Sutton started the year as a wide receiver. Due to injuries, moved to defense, and he's played 2 fine plays in this first half. 4th down.
Again, on 3rd down, Notre Dame has been inefficient. They have not been able to pick up that 3rd and 3-5 situation.
Blair Keel, the first time he kicked 120 yards. He came back last time for 31, so he's way down on the average. This is Brown. Back to receive it. Again, kicking into the wind. The swirling is gusting. This time he hits it high, but look at the wind. Hold it up. Straight down it came. And now takes an Irish bounce inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. So it ends up being a 36-yard kick. But he didn't get any help from Mother Nature on that one. All right, let's take a look now at the scores. Earlier today, hey, Harvard got beat. Our producer, Rick Lasavita, in agony. Rhode Island over Brown. Connecticut over Yale. Well, that was quite a slugfest. Boston defeating Maine. Virginia Tech, 28-0. At halftime, Brett and Arrow will update some other scores in the West. Here's Kozar, back to throw. He's going for all of it. Shakespeare, and back defending was Coran.
Pass intended for Shakespeare, incomplete.
I wonder, Pat, if the wind did catch that one a little bit.
Well, we've seen Bernie Kosar show some patience and drop the ball off to his back. That time he tried to get after it and get it all with Stanley Shakespeare. But you're right, he's playing with about a 20-mile-an-hour wind, and we've seen it affect Blair Keel's punting, and it probably made the ball take off there.
Well, I'll show you again how Miami opens it up, throwing on 1st down. They'll mix it up. They're not afraid to do something with their offense. On the 38, 2nd and 10. A screen to Griffin. Griffin, nice job. He may have a 1st down. Mike Golick made the stop, an 11-yard run, and Griffin, with just good second effort, got ahead of that chain to pick it up.
Well, determination runs in the Griffin family, believe me. A good call, classic call on 2nd and 10. They've been throwing the ball downfield all here in the first quarter. They dump it off to a screen pass, picks up a couple of nice blocks. From here on in, it's determination.
Keith Griffin, the younger brother of Archie Griffin, the 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. He didn't want to have that pressure of playing at Ohio State. Ohio State came down here for the Orange Bowl. He liked it, and he stayed here to go to school. 1st down. Fullback. Right ahead is Neal. Across the 50 to the 48 of Notre Dame. The interior of that defense for Notre Dame, led by Mike Golick once again. 2nd down, 7. We talked about Kozar being such a brilliant student, but what won him the job, and you mentioned it earlier, he sees the field so well, and what poise for a redshirt freshman.
And he has an intuitive sense of the game.
On a 2nd and 7. Open is Dennison. Dennison to the 30. 1st down. He fumbled the ball, but I believe it's been blown dead. Let's see. No, it's Notre Dame. A 19-yard pickup, but then the fumble. That's Joe Johnson, 27, who came up with it.
Miami continues to hurt themselves with penalties and mistakes like this. Just a simple delay route. We told you this is what they wanted to do, to take advantage of the deep drops of the Notre Dame linebackers. Again, one more look from the ground of Glenn Dennison and Bernie Kosar as he drops back, looks downfield. Dennison's waiting. Over the middle, no one's there. The linebackers are gone. Now you're going to see him fumble right there.
So at at the 28. Notre Dame takes over. Keel on first down. Flag on the play. Intended for Greg Bell. But a penalty flag thrown where the offensive line was trying to protect Blair Keel. It's holding. There's Kozar, frustrated. Dennison made a remarkable catch. Then, of course, led to the fumble. He caught the ball away from his body. But this young man has to be gaining some confidence. Even though they've turned it over, they have moved the ball.
Well, like I said, has been frustrated because they've been their own worst enemy with the penalties and with the mistakes. As Notre Dame's offense been. Really, neither defense has really stood out. The offenses have stopped themselves.
Holding. The 10-yard walk-off will bring it back inside the 20 to the 19. Howard, Jackson split out for the Irish. First and 20. Keel, it's intercepted. Jay Brophy. Jay Brophy, who had an interception against Purdue, has his second of the year. Excellent field position for the Hurricanes, and the Canes would like to get on the scoreboard. 2:47 left in the first quarter.
Where'd you get this price? That's not the weekend rate you promised me.
Of course it is, sir.
No way.
Would I lie?
Are you sure?
Oh, I'm positive, sir.
Only National guarantees weekend rates. Just $19.95 a day or less for any car up to this old Cutlass, guaranteed. And if we don't deliver, you'll get $50 off your next rental. We give you national attention, and that's the truth.
One more set, guys? Nah, you guys are just too tough today. For Michelob Light?
You should have quit while you were ahead.
Michelob Light for the winner.
Would good friends play this hard for a beer? Well, it is Michelob Light, a rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
Michelob Light for the winner.
I don't get it. You guys killed us.
Don't blame us. You suggested we play for a Michelob Light.
Michelob Light.
After the turnover, Blair Keel, you're going to see him here on a naked bootleg. He fakes the pitch, fools the Miami defense momentarily. Blair Keel turns his shoulders and throws the ball downfield. But you're going to watch number 54, Jay Brophy, the All-American candidate at linebacker, make an excellent interception. One-handed with his left hand.
And with his hands heavily taped. Blair Keel threw 3 interceptions last week against Michigan State. Suffering one here, and Howard Schnellenberger now senses they are in position to get on the scoreboard. The former Kentucky All-American. He coached for Bear Bryant, Blanton Collier in the National Football League. Kozar in the corner. Brown. It's Brown, the intended receiver, and Chris Brown defending.
Notre Dame has changed their defensive philosophy here a little bit, Gary. Before they were dropping back and playing coverage. We saw some of those shots early in the game. That time they came with a corner blitz. This area of the field, Notre Dame wants to blitz and put some pressure, put some people in Bernie Kozar's face.
Shakespeare split out. Brown is split out. Second down, 10. Kozar to delay to Griffith. Griffith cuts the 25. He has a first down. A 12-yard pickup. Mike Kovaleski, the freshman linebacker, with a tackle. They're on the move.
When you throw the ball as well as Miami does, your best running play ought to be the draw, and you're going to see it right here. 44, Keith Griffin just picked his way, but there was a big hole, big opening there. That was set up by the successful passing that we've seen from Miami.
Griffin was slowed earlier in the year with a hip pointer, but playing well tonight. First down. Kozar. And a fine defensive play that time by Pat Bowledge. Bowledge from Pueblo, Colorado. Ed Brown, the intended receiver. Bowledge had an interception earlier this year. He's a young performer, a sophomore. Ed Brown, he was on the defensive side for Miami, and they moved him to offense.
I'm happy to see a guy named Brown, not called Downtown Brown.
Second and 10. 2:12 to go, first quarter, no score. They're coming after him. And he had to get rid of it. Kozar really dumped that time at the 30-yard line. He tried to hit Dennison. He's tied in.
They came out with an all-out blitz. Again, this is the area of the field where you want to try to force the quarterback to take a sack. Chris Brown, the free safety, was putting pressure on Kozar.
I would assume Kozar, with not a lot of playing experience, they'll do that quite often. 2:09 remaining, first quarter. Bernie Kozar, he grew up in the Youngstown, Ohio area, a suburb there. The coaches felt he was one of the top 25 quarterbacks in high school. 3rd and 10. Lots of time. And the catch is made by Speedy Neal. And he's close to a 1st and goal. Let's see if he got it.
We've seen Bernie Kosar really pass the ball around to a lot of different receivers. This time he's going to his fullback, number 38, Speedy Neal. He's 245 pounds. I'm not sure why they call him Speedy, but he does have soft hands. Catches the ball there for the 1st down.
That's what they want out of their backs, the ability to catch it. That is a 1st and goal. It's inside the 8. Miami now with 7 first downs. Notre Dame 1. Neal, 5. He's close to the 3. Rick Naylor, who had the interception earlier. You see Brown, number 9, getting up. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Gary, I mentioned that Kozar has really been spreading the ball around here today. Coming into this game, he had thrown the ball to 13 different receivers. And that's the unique thing about this Miami offense. They're not going to throw the ball downfield to one guy all night long. It's very difficult to cover this team.
Just inside the 4, you look at Neal. He can dominate a game. Also, Bentley is checked into the backfield. That's Bentley jumping. Kozar to Neal. And Neal is close to the 2. Allard coming up from his cornerback position, leading the charge defensively for Notre Dame. Now, decision time. 3rd and goal at the 2. Bentley and Neal again in the backfield. Goal, Neal. He is in. Touchdown. Well, they didn't do anything fancy down there, Pat. They just ran right at him. After attempt, Jeff Davis will attempt it. Newton will hold. And it's good. Well, a 30-yard drive after the interception by Jay Brophy, taking 8 plays, and Miami right now in an upset mode, a 7-0 lead.
Gary, even though the drive was only 30 yards, it was splendid play calling. We saw some passing downfield. We saw some draw plays right here. You're going to see Speedy Neal, built like a full-size Buick, will go over the right side and into the end zone. But we saw a great mix of plays. He threw the ball to his back, to his receivers, to his tight end. They ran a couple of draws, and here's the culmination of that 30-yard drive.
You see Bentley throw a block on that play. That's what he does so well. A complete football player for Miami. Greg Bell will go back. Kozar getting it in on a couple of occasions. He couldn't quite get it all the way. This time he gets it in. With 20 seconds left in the first quarter, Davis will kick. The wind to his back again. There'll be no return. Okay, let's go down now and join Pat O'Brien.
Thank you, Gary. One of the obstacles that Notre Dame thought they would face besides Miami is the oppressive humidity that sometimes accompanies Miami weather. So how do you train for humidity in South Bend, Indiana? Thermal underwear. Gerry Faust bought a couple hundred pair, had his players practice in them. Then the weather turned up there, and it backfired. It just kept them warm, so they couldn't simulate mugginess. And when they got here, it rained a couple days, so it didn't matter anyway. So Gary and Pat, I know where you can get a couple hundred pairs of XX large thermal underwear, slightly used, but washable.
You might fit into those, Gary, those extra.
I'll tell you, I need a medium. Here's Keel on a first down, and Pinkett is drilled. Tony Fitzpatrick, 62, Cortez, 99, and they stuffed that one. And now we're going to end the first quarter as Kozar with one under his belt. He had 3 touchdown passes last week. He led them on that drive. Miami is leading it 7-0.
What's on the horizon for TV? More than 100 broadcast and cable channels. That's why Zenith invented the Smart Set. The only set smart enough to give you 178 channel capability now. Smart enough to let you access more channels through Zenith's most advanced Space Command remote control. The Smart Set lets you tune in the future without leaving your chair. Advanced System 3, the Smart Set, exclusively Zenith.
Chrissy! Chrissy! We're out of ink.
I know.
Well, didn't I tell you yesterday to have some sent from Seattle?
Yes?
Well, why isn't it here? Didn't you use Federal Express?
No.
Well, why not?
Because you told me to save a little money.
But it isn't here.
But I saved you money.
Well, we're out of ink. Chrissy, you call us a newspaper. Look at it. You call us a newspaper. That's it.
Next time, send it Federal Express. Why fool around with anyone else?
Like a lot of people, I'm taking better care of my body. Better care of my skin, too. With Skin Bracer Aftershave. Shaving is rough, so I use Skin Bracer. It cools and smooths skin. Tightens pores. That's the tingle. Smells great, too. But Skin Bracer's not cologne. It's skin care that feels good. That's why more men are saying, thanks. I needed that.
Skin Bracer, now in spice, too. Takes care of men who take care of their skin. Skin Bracer Aftershave.
It's easy to forget Valvoline was the first to show you how to save money by changing your own oil. And it's easy to forget Valvoline was the first to put 12 quarts in a handy carry-out case. And it's easy to forget Valvoline is the choice of leading race drivers the world over. Yep, it's easy to forget all this about Valvoline, as long as you remember Valvoline is everything you need in a motor oil.
7-0, Miami leads Notre Dame, and in this first quarter, Pat, turnovers, 3 of them in the ball game.
And where the ball was turned over, Notre Dame turned it over on their own 30-yard line. Miami converted, was opportunistic, brought it in for a score.
And thus far, Notre Dame going into the win did not get the ball any further than their own 44-yard line. Now, as we start the second quarter, they have the wind to their back. They trail 7-0. The line of scrimmage, the 16. Second down, 13. Keel, and it's broken up. Ken Calhoun there, and he timed it beautifully. The pass intended for Alan Pinkett. Okay, let's send it back to New York now for an NCAA report. Here's Brent.
And Gary, it's Alabama again, it's third quarter, and Lenny Patrick scrambles his way in for a touchdown, and after the extra point, Bama moves ahead. Vanderbilt 24-17. Let's go back to Gary.
Thus far, they're 1 of 4 on third down attempts. This is 3rd and 13. Keel, and nothing doing on that play. Reggie Sutton defending against Joe Howard, and Keel's going to have to kick. And you can see how charged up the defense is. Keel averaging 29 yards a kick, but in all fairness to him, into the wind, this time with that gale behind him. Ed Brown goes back deep. hits it. Brown at the 45. Outside to the 50. And he's across the 50 to the 47 of Notre Dame. A 38-yard punt, an 8-yard return. Well, Pat and I at CBS, we're just very happy to have our continuing association with the Chevrolet Scholarship Program. And in the fourth quarter, Pat and I will select a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each team. And Chevrolet then will donate those selections by giving them $1,000 to each College General Scholarship Fund to advance the educations of deserving students in their chosen field. So in the fourth quarter, we'll pick somebody on both teams. First down from the 47. Nothing doing for Alonzo Highsmith. Now, here is quite a story, number 30. He's from Canada. His father played in the Canadian Football League. And, Pat, he was an outstanding defensive end. But he's so good at running, they moved him to running back.
Well, that's Howard Schnellenberger. He took two days of seeing him carry the ball, and they decided to move him there, and I think it's going to end up being a very good decision.
They want to give him a couple of opportunities to use that speed. Second down, 11. Bentley back in now with Keith Griffin. Kozar with Gann putting the pressure on. Intended receiver was Brown, but Mike Gann, 78, defensive end out of Lakewood, Colorado, made him hurry that one.
Notre Dame has been a little disappointed in its pass rush, not only tonight, but really in its first couple of ball games. They want to be able to put some heat on Bernie Kosar. There's a look at Notre Dame's defense. They want to get in his face and make him throw the ball low like he did right there. Mike Gann was in his face.
Joe Johnson, a real hitter in that secondary, number 27. There's the yardage. Miami not only leading on the scoreboard, but statistically. Third down, officially 12 to go. Dennison stays on his feet, and he gets a couple of yards. Just short of the 40-yard line. Joe Johnson, Stacy Toran over to make the tackle.
Here's a look. It's 3rd and 12. Bernie Kosar is looking downfield to try to pick up the 12 yards, but Notre Dame is dropping back in deep coverage. They're just not going to give it to him. So he does not force the ball, which is a smart thing to do. What does he do? He dumps it off once more to his tight end, Glenn Dennison, hoping that he can break a couple tackles and pick up the first down. He came up 3 yards short.
Tootin will kick on 4th down. He had a 50-yard kick, but remember, he kicked it with a wind as Greg Bell goes back for the Irish. Did an excellent job against the wind. And it's going to be down inside the 5. A 37-yard kick, and I don't believe you can kick the ball into the wind any better than the Ocala freshman did. With 13:03 to go in the first half, the Irish will start deep in their own territory.
If you want it,
I like it.
if you really like it, I really like it. We can help you get it. We're GMAC. We're GMAC Financing.
GMAC has helped more people buy their new GM car or truck than anyone, with rates that make sense on models people want, all at your GM dealer.
If you really want it, we can help you get it. We're GMAC Financing. We got it!
You know, back in 1941, AC invented the copper core spark plug for planes like my P-51 Mustang.
Test pilot Chuck Yeager for AC Delco.
It's amazing that some of today's cars work so hard. They need that copper core technology also.
And AC's got it.
AC has fire-ring spark plugs for most all cars. Then they're engineered to give you up to 30,000 miles of reliable performance. AC Delco, the smart parts. For 40 years, they've never let me down.
Next Saturday, a national title will be at stake when they play the singles final of the U.S. Women's Indoor Tennis Championship next Saturday on CBS Sports.
The Orange Bowl in Miami. We have 13:03 to go in the second quarter. Miami leads at 7-0. They march 30 yards after an interception. Notre Dame deep in their own territory at the 4 after that last punt. I'm Gary Bender along with Pat Hayden, and we're just glad to have you with us. Blair Keel has thrown one interception that led to that touchdown. Smith, the fullback, and a yard. And Pat, we have a little not tempers flaring right now, but that thus far, I'm surprised how this Miami line has been dominating.
Well, we thought that the size of Notre Dame's offensive front would really determine them controlling that offensive line of scrimmage. They have not done that. You're right. Tony Fitzpatrick up there in the front, Dallas Cameron, Kevin Fagan. The guys up in the front have really controlled that line of scrimmage.
In all fairness, of course, Notre Dame with a change line offensively on that left side due to injuries. Second down, 8 from the 5 to Pinkett. Pinkett out of there, and he's going to break it out for the first down. What a run by Alan Pinkett. 18-yard pickup. Ken Sisk on the tackle.
Gary, you're going to see Miami shift its defensive line to its left, really anticipating this type of play. The ball is pitched to Pinkett. Coach Schnellenberger was very much afraid of Pinkett and Bell and giving up the big play. Pinkett almost breaks for a big one. He did pick up the first down, but they want to keep him from going 30, 40, or 50 yards for a score.
That's the second first down for Notre Dame. From the 24. A toss back to Keel. Deep is Howard. And Gerry Faust knows how close they were.
A beautiful call, Gary. When things are not going well for you, sometimes you need something like this just to pick your spirits up, get something going, get something on the board.
It'll bring up a second down, but the secondary has to be a little shaky.
We're going to take a look at it here as Blair Keel pitches the ball to Pinkett. He laterals it back to Blair Keel, and he really throws this ball a long way to number 24, Joe Howard, just out of his grasp.
Keel now 2 of 7 for 15 yards. An interception. Alvin Miller, the freshman from Kirkwood, Missouri, has now checked in for Notre Dame. Number 17. Oh, we got movement on the offensive line. That'll be a penalty against Notre Dame. Mike Haywood, number 1, the intended receiver. Haywood out of Houston has been slowed this year with a lot of problems with his thigh muscles, but he's back strong now.
Again, a surprise of Notre Dame's offense. This is a team and a school with such rich tradition and some good, long, strong seniors in that team, but they've really hurt themselves. They've turned the ball over. They've had critical penalties on third down. They just seem a little bit uncomfortable right now. Well,
Schnellenberger refused that penalty, so it's going to be 3rd and 10. Haywood and Miller split out. It looks like a bad snap, and the ball is loose, and Miami has recovered. The continuity that Gerry Faust wanted is not here tonight.
You saw the concern on Gerry Faust's face there just a moment ago. Something was just amiss here from the very beginning. He runs right into his right guard. The ball is never quite handled by Chris Smith, the fullback. It's fumbled. The ball is on the ground. Miami makes another recovery.
That sets it up at the 26. The last time they had a turnover, they scored with it. Kozar back to throw. That will be a catch by Stanley Shakespeare at the 20. Joe Johnson, Stacy Torre back for Notre Dame. Gerry Faust says we have to have some consistency. We have to have some continuity. The turnovers hurt them against Michigan State, and it's haunting them again tonight.
Well, Miami's playing on a 30-yard field for the second time in a row.
Second down, 3. Kozar to Griffin, and Griffin may have given up the first down. Let's see where they spot it. Forward progress looked like it was initially short of the 15, which would be enough for a first down, and is.
We're going to get a look from the Notre Dame defensive backfield, number 40, Pat Ballard. Here's what they have to do to try to stop Ed Brown and these very quick receivers. They have to bump them and throw off their timing so that Kozar can't get the ball downfield to these guys. There you see the end result when they bump them and slow them down.
At the 15, first down. Shakespeare. Crowd split out. Looks like they may be sending a man. Johnson, the safety, wants to come on the blitz. Look at him. Here he comes. Kozar reads it. Brown can't get it.
You are absolutely right. Bernie Kozar did read this play. This is a young man who is a redshirt freshman, but you're going to see the poised maturity. He sees the blitz, he reads it, he gets the ball off on a three-step drop on the go route to Ed Brown. The ball was not particularly well thrown, but he did read the blitz and the coverage and made the right call.
They're picking on number 40, Ballage. They've been going at him pretty good. Second down, 10 for the 15. Kozar to Griffin. And Griffin just short of the 10. It'll bring up a third down and still a long 5. If you have to kick a field goal, it's no sure thing heading into this win. Kovaleski, Golick making the tackle. They mark it just inside the 12. Third down. 7. Looks like they're coming after him again, Pat.
Here comes the blitz.
They picked it up well. Brown, touchdown. His first touchdown catch of the year, of his career for that matter. Point after attempt by Jeff Davis. And it's 14-0.
Again, you have to admire the poise and concentration of number 20, Bernie Kozar. The second blitz in a row, and he read it for the second time in a row. This time, Ed Brown gets a little bit more room. The ball is perfectly thrown. Result, 6 points.
And Ballage trying to defend on it.
1-on-1, the same matchup we saw just a play earlier. This time he has a little bit more room. You see the ball perfectly thrown over his outside shoulder. There it is, into the end zone for 6 points.
2 turnovers, 2 touchdowns. Miami, 14-0.
Chevy Chop is taking charge with a big USA 1 truck sell-a-thon. We're out to sell 75,000 trucks by October 1st with 200,000 trucks from coast to coast. This is dealing time. And year-end allowances on 83s can mean great clearance prices. Get specially equipped full-size pickups with automatic transmission or air conditioning at no extra cost. And specially equipped S10 pickups and maxi cabs with V6 engine at no extra cost. USA 1 sell-a-thon at your Chevy dealers now.
This is the place for the real taste of beer. Come around, Pabst is the place. There's just no doubt about it.
Pabst isn't beer drinking beer. Well, I feel qualified to say that.
Pabst is the place. Your good friends all around you for the real taste of beer and all the good times you have here.
This is one place they still know how to brew beer.
For the real taste of beer, Pabst is the place.
Over 5.5 million fans attended NCAA Division I AA football games in '82. The Division I AA membership has established a proud tradition and exciting competition of college football. This season, 85 Division I AA teams will be aiming for its own national championship December 17th in Charleston, South Carolina.
Miami with a 14-0 lead. Davis will kick off to Bell. Have to reset it. Bell, by the way, Pat, you might recall, in 1981 returned one 98 yards against Miami. They'd like to have one now. There was a 26-yard drive. Earlier, it was a 30-yard drive.
They're playing on a very short field. The turnovers have been the key.
Davis is ready. 9:39 left in the first half. The wind really holds it up, and they're having trouble. And I believe Davis, who kicked off, recovers it. 3 turnovers now against Notre Dame. They'll have it at the 30.
It's not too often you see a kicker. Here's number 23, Jeff Davis. He had kicked the ball, and there he makes the recovery. He's a happy young man. The thrills of college football.
Well, you got to believe they don't practice it that way. Now, wait a minute. There's a discussion at the 30-yard line. The officials, we may have had an offsides against Miami. Notre Dame dodges a bullet, to say the least. Let's go down the sideline now. Here's Pat O'Brien.
Thank you, Gary. Notre Dame looks very sluggish tonight, and it certainly wasn't because of their schedule today. They had to redo their routine, but today they slept in late. They were told they had a brunch at 11:30. They were told to stay out of the sun, or in today's case, stay out of the rain. Stay inside the rooms, watch college football all day, and relax. They had mass at 4:30, dinner at 5. So the sluggishness is not coming from a hectic day. Let's go back to Gary Bender.
I'll tell you what, that Pat O'Brien got a few rays here, too. Did you see him down there by the seat?
He slept in as well.
Well, Notre Dame probably thought the whole roof was caving in here, but the offside penalty moves the ball back to the 35, and Davis, who probably will never get a chance to do that again, will kick off.
Gary, if the ball is kicked high like that, Notre Dame has the option to call for a fair catch.
This time he hits it deeper, much deeper. Bell was surprised by that. And Bell to the 19. Vanderbilt and Alabama, they were tied up the last we checked. Let's go back to New York. Here is Brent Musburger.
Gary, Vanderbilt won't stay down. Carl Woods scrambles in for the Commodores here. It was a sweep to the left, the holes back to the right. It is now 27-24, Bama with the lead. Back to Gary.
Notre Dame breaks in a new quarterback, Steve Berline, a freshman out of Fullerton, California. They like the potential of Berline. He's in now in place of Blair Keel. Pinkett. That's Jay Brophy, number 54, the All-American candidate.
We should mention, there's Steve Berline right there. We should mention that Gerry Faust had planned to bring Steve Berline into the ball game early in the game, just in case something went wrong with Blair Keel.
Out of Survey High School in Anaheim, they feel that he sees the whole field so well, beyond his experience.
A little bit like Kozar, freshman against freshman.
Second down and 9. Berline on a delayed handoff to Pinkett. And Miami is a swarming defense. That was Ken Sisk again, and we called his number many, many times.
Ken Sisk, they say, gets around the ball about half of the time, which really is a remarkable figure.
Alan Pinkett, who wants a chance to get wide, hasn't been able to, as Miami has reacted beautifully. There's Bernie Kosar. He's directed his team to a 14-0 lead. Notre Dame on third down, 1 of 6. Here's another one. Berline got away. Oh, he's just short of the first down by maybe a yard. There is a penalty flag on the play. Personal foul against Miami.
That may be a break there for Notre Dame. But Steve Berline, here it is, 3rd and 7 and 3rd and 8. You're having a tough time picking up first downs, but he breaks the tackle. Remember, he is only a freshman. He's looking downfield. Now he just sees an opening, and you're going to see him for a freshman. He knows where the first down marker is and picks it up. Here's the hit right there. Number 62, Tony Fitzpatrick, comes in and puts a stop on him. There's the late hit right there. That's
that
number
is 29, Eddie Williams.
The free safety. Good call.
So they tack on 15 yards, and that moves the ball to the 44. This is the furthest they've been in this game, the 44-yard line. the 45. Ken Sisk runs him out. 13-yard pickup, but now the Irish starting to light a fuse, starting to move it.
Sometimes a change in the quarterback position can do that for you.
Berline coming into this game had thrown only 3 passes. Now directing the team for the Miami 44. Howard Jackson split out. Berline to the fullback, Smith. And Smith has another first down. 13-yard pickup. Notre Dame, their deepest penetration, their best offensive look of the night.
We had a shot there of Blair Keel cheering his team on. He is one of the co-captains.
Miami asks for a timeout. 7:22 to go in this first half. Notre Dame on the move, trailing by 14.
Bigger engines were easy on oil. That's why you only needed to change the oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Today's smaller, higher revving engines can break down an oil's viscosity within 1,500 miles. That's why there's Castrol. Tests show Castrol suffers no significant breakdown of viscosity even after 5,000 miles. So use Castrol, because if you make things too hard on your engine could make things hard on you. Castrol, engineered for smaller cars.
You know, the secret to a comfortable retirement is really no secret. You need a smart investment firm to help you get there.
And the best way to find that investment firm is to ask a lot of questions.
And Katie and I asked.
And the more we asked, the more good things we heard about one company, Dean Witter.
We heard about the quality of their financial advice and programs.
We heard they really listen, really care.
For us, Dean Witter was worth asking about.
Dean Witter. Worth asking about.
Tuesday, his ex-wife's in the kitchen, his sexy young bride's in the bedroom, and he's in hot water. Suzanne Plachette stars in the hilarious new comedy One Cooks, the Other Doesn't.
Number 5, Blair Keel, has been replaced at quarterback by Gerry Faust. There he is, Steve Berline. He's come in, and Notre Dame has picked up offensively. Pinkett, Smith in the backfield. First down at the 30. Berline to Howard. Howard inside the 25 to the 22. Reggie Sutton, Jay Brophy. It's amazing to me, you change a quarterback, and all of a sudden, how the team has reacted to it.
Well, sometimes the offensive line senses that they might be in trouble. But here, take a look at Steve Berline, number 7, the quarterback. A nice call. A short, safe pass to give himself a completion, get his confidence up. You see Joe Howard catch the ball, bring it down to a 2nd and 2 situation.
Berline playing with the number that Joe Theismann wore so very well at Notre Dame. Alvin Miller in now, along with Joe Howard. 2nd down, 2. Pinkett. First down. Then some. Inside the 15-yard line. Ken Sisk over there. Gerry Faust has a moving. Snellenberger concerned.
Interesting strategy here by Notre Dame, too, running into the boundary, into the short side of the field. That is because Miami puts their strong safety to the wide side of the field.
Pinkett, 45 yards. There's your time, 6:36. Left in the first half. Line of scrimmage to 14. First down. Straight ahead comes Chris M. Smith. And he's inside the 10. Jay Brophy, 54, making the stop. Smith was a linebacker at one time for Notre Dame.
The difference here on this drive, Gary, is as we expected, that line from Notre Dame is really controlling that scrimmage.
And Berline has to be getting some confidence.
And his teammates have to be feeling better about him as well.
2nd down, a long 5. Pinkett at the 9. That's no gain. And Jay Brophy out of Akron. And Brophy, he left school, worked in a rubber factory, decided that wasn't the kind of job he wanted. Came back to Miami, and I think Howard Snellenberger is glad he made that decision. Gerry Faust has the decision to make. It's 3rd and 6. He'll confer there with play and Keel.
Notre Dame.
His first down gives now Notre Dame 1 remaining. In the first half, the Irish trying to get on the scoreboard.
Chevrolet Caprice Classic. The only full-size car picked last year by Car and Driver magazine as one of the 10 best cars you can buy. Chevrolet Caprice. Compare the deep cushion comfort, the luxury, the ride, the full-sized room. It's an exceptional value. You can spend more for a car, but why in the world would you? And you.
Most people think of IBM before Burroughs. Why not? They're bigger. But bigger doesn't necessarily mean better. For example, Burroughs has ingenious software called Link that increases programming productivity as much as 10 times. IBM has nothing like it. Innovations like these may be why a lot of companies are replacing IBM computers with Burroughs. You see, the question isn't who's bigger, it's who's better.
Well, the timeout bringing up a 3rd down, and Notre Dame has not had success on 3rd down.
Notre Dame has lived in a 3rd and 6 world, and it's very difficult to convert.
That's what they have now. The ball just inside the 10, right on top of it, to be exact. Burline on 3rd down. Pinkett. Oh, as he felt it. Coming up was Rodney Bellinger. And Pinkett is not getting up very quickly.
Going to take a look at Steve Burline trying to pick up 6 yards. This is a very difficult part of the field to try to pick up this kind of yardage because it's a very small field to defend. Burline is looking downfield first, and then Pinkett, number 20, is actually a secondary receiver. He's going to come right into the picture right there. The ball is thrown out right in front of him. Now, Pinkett doesn't see number 4, Bellinger, come up, but he certainly feels him.
And he is still being looked at the 10-yard line.
One further look. Again, as I mentioned, Notre Dame has lived in a 3rd and 6 and 7 world that's very difficult to make with any kind of consistency. Notre Dame has not done that here in the first half. That's been the difference. They have not been able to keep drives alive.
Alan Pinkett hit that time by Bellinger. We'll have a 4th down. Still 6 yards to go. Pinkett, growing up in the Washington, D.C. area, actually in the shadows of Dulles Airport, always wanted to play at Notre Dame. Let's join Pat O'Brien.
I'm down on the Notre Dame side with Joe McIntyre, who came down from South Bend. Joe, how you doing? They're moving the ball finally.
Well, finally, I think that quarterback from California might lead them a little bit. I think Kyle, the guy, probably need a rest. And I think the coach made a good selection, and the new quarterback, probably.
You're an alum. Is Gerry Faust under as much pressure as we heard?
Oh, I think so. Gerry's a great man. He's a great man for university. He's a great man for the college. Hope he does it good, guys.
Okay, let's go back to Gerry.
Mike Johnston will attempt a 27-yard field goal. It's blocked. Reggie Sutton blocked it for Miami. It was Johnston, Pat, that beat this Miami team with a field goal last year.
Excellent speed of Reggie Sutton. You can see him right there on the right of the screen. He's not blocked. He comes flying across and blocks Johnston's kick. From the side, one more look. Number 1, he's all out, sacrifices his body, and makes the block.
And so, at the 27-yard line, Miami holds. They still lead it 14-0. We have a new quarterback in the game. Running the ball is Bentley. The man is checked in as number 13 for Miami, Kyle Vanderwent. Vanderwent was in a real battle with Kozar for the starting job. He started the last 3 games of last season. A lot of people thought he would be the number 1 quarterback.
We should also mention, too, that it's not because Kozar is hurt. This is part of Coach Schnellenberger's plan, is to bring Vanderwent into every football game in the first half.
There's Kozar. He has to be very satisfied with his first half. Vanderwent from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. To Bentley. Bentley on a 2nd and 10, and he gets a yard, maybe 2. That was Stacy Toran, one arm and all, made a fine open field tackle. We're glad to have you with us. This is the Orange Bowl. There's been some outstanding sporting events here, and tonight a big night for Florida and for Miami, as the Hurricanes will have 14-0 lead with 4:26 to go in the first half. I'm Gary Bender along with Pat Hayden. 3rd and 7. Vanderwent looking for Bentley. Boy, he's a strong quarterback. Advances to the 33. Vanderwent is 6'5" himself and weighs 210.
Vanderwent did the proper thing, though, Gary. He did not force the ball downfield and turn the ball over.
And now kicking into the wind will be Tootin. He's done a very good job thus far, a 43.5 average. Bell goes back for the Irish. Tootin led the nation in punting in high school last year with a 47-yard average. Look at the wind play havoc with it, but it takes the Miami bounce. It'll be out at the 33-yard line. 14-0 our score with 3:27 left in the first half. Now let's take this opportunity, Pat, to check some other scores. Very, very interesting afternoon. And Texas looks like a baseball score. Arizona unbeaten. Boy, the Wildcats are rolling, and now Alabama starting to put away Vanderbilt. LSU over Washington, who beat Michigan last week. TCU, that's kind of a surprise. And Mississippi, that's being played in Jackson, 13-10. Here's Burline. First down. At halftime, Brandon Era scores and highlights. We'll update those as you just saw. Greg Bell to the 35-yard line, maybe a yard. Jack Fernandez now in there defensively, number 51. He is a fine player. They have 3 linebackers, Sisk, Fernandez, and Brophy. They like them all.
With 3:05 left here in the first half, though, it's really important that Notre Dame gets some sort of score on the board before they go into the locker room.
Well, they marched 71 yards the last time, only to have a field goal block. Burline, he'll overthrow that one. And we have a penalty flag. We may have holding against Notre Dame. Joe Howard was back deep for that pass.
You see some of the Miami defenders signaling the call.
When they have the flag thrown in that area, you can bet that's what's going to end up being a holding call. So Burline will have a long play coming up. Coming up at halftime, we're going to have quite a festivity here. The finale of the bands and the excitement.
Offense, holding.
And, of course, Brendan Era. I'm really interested in what's happening out west. Some interesting developments, and they'll have it. 2:46 left in the first half. 2nd and 18. Burline. Bavero, the tight end. Bavero replacing Tony Hunter, the All-American this year. And it's 3rd down.
Well, attempting to place Tony Hunter. Tony Hunter was an outstanding receiver for Notre Dame last year. That's been part of the problem that Ron Hudson's faced trying to restructure this Notre Dame offense.
Bavero made an outstanding catch last week against Michigan State on that bid to tie the game up. Jackson split out. He's number 6 out of Fairfield, Iowa. Joe Howard, the other man. 3rd and 18. And that's Greg Bell, and that is a first down catch. 23-yard completion.
Take that, Bernie Kosar. As Steve Burline is saying, he's a freshman as well. It's 3rd and 18. It's a very difficult situation to put a young quarterback in down 14 points, but he stands tall in the saddle there, delivers the ball past the defender. A nice catch by number 28, Greg Bell, for the first down.
We might say, Pat, that Burline is a true freshman. Kosar's a redshirt freshman. Notre Dame does not redshirt players unless they're injured.
And that makes a big difference in programs.
First down 10. Bell, a loss.
all the Miami jerseys around the ball there. They play defense a little bit like a South American coup. They got a lot of people around the ball.
Joe Colbrand will be credited with the tackle with 1:50 left in the first half. Second down, 11. Last week, Notre Dame had to play catch-up football again tonight. Third line, a throwback to Bell. Bell to the 50, 45, first down. 14-yard pickup. Fred Robinson, 97, out of Miami, making the stop for the Hurricanes. And with 1:29, they have it first down at the Miami 40.
Notre Dame wasted 2 timeouts in the first quarter that may be critical here as they're trying to get the ball in for a score.
Favorite comes in, Alonzo Jefferson in. Third line, he has his man. That is Alonzo Jefferson, a freshman from this area, from West Palm Beach. That's another first down catch. 16-yard pickup. Eddie Williams made the tackle, number 29.
The defense of Miami right there, they do not want to give up a touchdown. You can see the deep drops by those defensive backs who want anything caught in front of them, and that's exactly what happened right there. Number 3 in the middle of the screen. Jefferson makes the catch for the first down.
Greg Bell on a first down, maybe 2 yards, and that's all. And now Notre Dame is going to ask for a timeout. That's their last timeout. Well, these two outstanding institutions, Notre Dame and Miami. Let's take a look now and visit their respective campuses.
At the University of Notre Dame, crickets and wind tunnels have something in common. Both are important tools in research, the discovery of new knowledge. Researchers here are studying fields ranging from insect communications to aerodynamics, from radiation chemistry to germ-free animals. These areas of study may be worlds apart, but they are the vital components of the world of teaching and research, a world enriching the minds of students and enhancing lives around the globe.
This is the University of Miami. Florida is rapidly becoming a major focal point for international commerce, and the University of Miami is one of the youngest, yet it's the largest private university in the Southeast. The University of Miami has a lot to offer, with renowned programs in marine science, medicine and nursing, music, business, law and international studies, engineering and architecture, education, and the arts and sciences. The University of Miami, a global university in a global city.
Notre Dame still scoreless, but with 1:11 to go in the first half, they have it at the 24, second down, 9. Notre Dame offensive line, Shiner and Scannell out due to knee injuries. They've done a pretty good job now in the second quarter of containing that defensive line of the Hurricanes.
Both coaches directing a little traffic.
Snellenberger, coaching for 13 years in the NFL, a head coach. He said, the reason I have such a quiet demeanor on the sideline is I got fired once. He says, once you get fired, you look at things a little differently.
God, I hope that didn't happen to me.
Ellenberger, quite a football player. He said he learned so much from Blanton Collier. Blanton Collier would work on the first step of a block for an hour. He was really involved with technique.
Well, we mentioned earlier, too, that he's worked under Bear Bryant for many years.
He said the Bear would not spend that amount of time on technique. But, oh, what a motivator.
And think about some of the other people who's worked under. Don Shula, George Allen.
Second down, 9. Jackson will come split to the bottom of the screen. Howard to the top. Notre Dame backing up, and I must tell you, it's not because of television. And I'm not sure what the delay is all about. They're having some problems with the clock. At halftime, we'll be going back to New York. And Brett and Era will have scores and highlights. There's been some upsets. There's been some very impressive games. How about that Boston College game today against West Virginia? And then we'll have the halftime pageantry, and they have really practiced long and hard to bring you quite a halftime from the Orange Bowl. Second down and 9. Bavaro, did he get it? No. Mark Bavaro juggled the ball. Third down. So third down 9 from the 24. Furline now 4 of 7 for 60. Howard and Jackson split out. Brooks and Bell in the backfield. Oh, Howard can't hang on to that one. Boy, he threw a rope that time.
It's 3rd and 10. They're trying to throw underneath the coverage. You're going to watch number 24, Joe Howard. He's right there under your screen. You see Greg Bell, 28, come out and try to pick a defender. Joe Howard comes underneath him, but the ball was thrown a little bit too hard and out in front.
And so on 4th down, Notre Dame brings in their field goal kicker, Mike Johnston. The last time he had it blocked. And this is going to be an attempt of 41 yards. Johnston for the year now, 1 of 4. They're faking it. They're short, incomplete.
Gerry did not fool the University of Miami defense. They did not rush number 1, Reggie Sutton, who blocked it last time. This time was in coverage. You see the holder, number 2, Kevin Smith, who's a backup quarterback, roll to his right and throw the ball to his fullback. And let's look at the reaction of Gerry Faust. A courageous call, but didn't quite come up with a first down.
So Johnston, after having one blocked earlier, they elect to have Kevin Smith out of Scottsdale, Arizona, Saguaro High School, throw the ball. And with 50 seconds left in this first half, Miami takes over, and Kozar has come back in. You might figure that Johnston, with the wind to his back, had a good chance at that 41-yarder.
And like I said, I think University of Miami was certainly expecting that. They had all 4 of their pass defenders back.
We have a little confusion on the field. The Miami defense is coming back on. We had a delay of game on the attempt, and so they're going to get another chance at it. A 5-yard penalty, and unbelievable, but this will now be a 46-yard attempt. A delay of game gives them another opportunity. And it is no good. So Johnston from 46 yards, had he kicked it from 41, he might have had enough distance.
Well, Gerry, with 44 seconds here in the first half, I think really the difference has been where Notre Dame has turned the ball over. They've turned the ball over twice to the University of Miami offense about the 30-yard line, and they've been opportunistic, taken advantage of it, and put 14 points on the board.
Kozar in at quarterback. They'll probably just fall on it now with 44 seconds left in the first half. So Miami, I would imagine, has caught the attention of college football circles coming in here. And right now, with a 14-0 lead, they came in after losing early to Florida, bouncing back to beat Houston, and last week Purdue. They'll drop to the knee again.
And Gerry, it's been an opportunistic offense on Miami's part, and actually their defense has controlled the line of scrimmage better than we anticipated.
And Notre Dame, the turnover, very costly, leading to 2 touchdowns. And the Fighting Irish are going to have to come from behind as our score at halftime. Miami, 14, Notre Dame nothing. We'll be back with Fred and Era from New York with scores and highlights after this word about an upcoming show on CBS and a message from your local station.
Some men are born to dream. Others are born to win.
Nobody can stop us now.
Treat Williams is Dempsey, a 3-hour television event Wednesday.
This is CBS.
A minute of your time. Can anyone name a copier manufacturer that's bigger than Ricoh?
Xerox.
Ricoh's bigger. IBM. Ricoh's bigger. And we got to be bigger than Xerox by making precision-engineered copiers like this Ricoh 4060.
I'm beginning to see the light.
Now, are you still overlooking Ricoh and the Ricoh 4060?
Call the Florida copy office nearest you today.
The gigantic countdown begins. Toyota's gigantic clearance countdown that puts bargains and buyers together with sellout prices. Soon there won't be any more new 1983 Toyotas left. Tercels, Camrys, Cressidas, trucks, and Celicas all must go. Dealers have little time left to sell out their entire remaining 1983 inventories. You could save hundreds of dollars on any brand new Toyota. Remember, the sellout price you see may never ever be this low again. So don't wait. Save while Toyota dealers are counting down.
Shape up with Victoria Principal, 7:30 Monday.
Jesse Owens, Ohio State Track All-America, won 4 gold medals at the 36 Olympics, an inspiration to America's youth. Gerald Ford, football star at Michigan, he became the 38th President of the United States. These individuals typify the recipient of the Theodore Roosevelt Award, the NCAA's highest honor, presented annually to a former outstanding student athlete. The preceding message provided by the NCAA.
Welcome back to New York. And, Coach, have the Irish found a new quarterback in Steve Berline?
Well, his success doesn't surprise me. He did take him down the field very nicely. I've watched him in practice. He's a very bright young man. All the coaches are very high on him. Very skilled. He's got a good arm and thinks very well on the field, can pick things up when you consider he's just a freshman.
Now, a little bit later, I'm going to have you take us inside the problems the Irish have been having down there in Miami, but there are some other stories developing in college football, so let's get everybody up to date right now. Down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, a crowd of almost 83,000, the largest in the school's history, and LSU is giving them a show. 27-7 now over Washington, a powerhouse from the Pac-10. Steve Pelaire handing off here to Jacques Robinson, who gets in for the left side, and the Huskies struck first. But, this Dalton Hilliard can really run.
Well, I remember him from a year ago. He started to break things open when he was just a freshman. Here he is on a 65-yard run and just runs out of steam right here.
But the Tigers did score. Hilliard has rushed for better than 100 yards already in this game, and his partner back there in the backfield, Gary James, has also added 93 for the Tigers. Now, Texas was in trouble early in this game. They trailed 6-2, but they came storming back in the second half. 19-6 now in the fourth quarter. The Longhorns are in control there. Meanwhile, Arizona having an easy time of it against Fullerton State. It is 24-3 there in the third quarter there. And Alabama was behind Vanderbilt 17-0 when we started the Notre Dame game. But then Ray Perkins' team simply took control. Now watch Kurt Page here, the first offensive play of the game for Vanderbilt, looking for the bomb.
You always tell that defensive secondary man, expect it, but by golly, they still pulled it off by faking the option and throwing the bomb.
Then, with less than a minute to go in the first quarter, Vanderbilt got another one, and finally, Alabama put it together with this scramble by Walter Lewis. When he got in, that seemed to turn things around, and after that, it was one Crimson Tide touchdown after another. That one by Lenny Patrick. They're going to win the game right now. They lead at 37-24. They are in the fourth quarter. SMU had some trouble early against TCU. TCU blocked a punt and went ahead by 7. SMU leads at 14-7 there in the fourth quarter there. This, one of the day's big upsets. Mississippi, off to one of its worst starts in history, has upset Arkansas tonight. 13-10 is the final in that game. And Purdue has beaten Minnesota 32-20. That is the first win for the Boilermakers after losing to both Notre Dame and Miami. Iowa, a winner this afternoon over Ohio State. Many of you watched that action here on CBS. It was a dandy. Both of these teams are excellent and very well coached. Now watch Chuck Long go over the middle. Ronnie Harmon of the Hawkeyes makes a brilliant catch. Deflected it, stayed right with the ball. That set up a big field goal. Now here comes the bomb by Long.
This was a big one. I don't think Ohio State expected this. They had him pressed in a very close game, and he goes all the way. Dave Moritz makes a great catch and run and broke the game open.
Then Hayden Frey on the sideline was saying, we're going for 2. We want to sit on 21. We want to go for 2. No one heard him. They went out and kicked the extra point. And I'm going to tell you, when the Buckeyes were coming back at him, old Hayden was sitting over there, oh, please, don't make it 20 all. I'm going to hurt for that one. Auburn and Tennessee. Auburn, of course, lost a tough one here on CBS a week ago to Texas. They snapped back against Tennessee. 37-14 was the final there. This is a mild upset. Boomer Esiason did not play for Maryland today. Frank Reich stepped in there. He passed for 155 yards, and Maryland dumps Pittsburgh 13-7. Nebraska, they spotted UCLA 10 points. Then they showed everyone by their 1 and 1A and perhaps even the top 5 ranked teams in the country. I haven't seen a ball club quite as quick as the Cornhuskers are. Watch what happens to Rozier, who's probably going to win a Heisman with this run.
He's made a lot of them, but this is a fancy one where he was really shut off and comes all the way back and scores a touchdown. That shows you how great he is.
Now, how about Tom Osborne's defense, Coach? Can they also do it?
They're a very solid operation. They really are. They're a good football. They're a good all-around football team. As you see here, Dave Burke intercept the ball and make a nice return.
And congratulations to Coach Osborne, who posts his 100th victory today, 42-10. And I'll tell you, they may someday be comparing this Nebraska team with the greatest of all time, if nothing else, because of the speed that Era's been telling you about the last couple of weeks. Oklahoma, Barry Switzer also won his 100th today. 28-18 over Tulsa. The great Marcus Dupree did not play because of an injured leg, but obviously they did not miss him too much. North Carolina, 5th rank, could be moving up now, 51-20. Big day for Scott Stankavich. He, of course, is the Tar Heels' fine quarterback. He threw 4 touchdown passes in that game. And he completed 17 of 21 for 218 yards. Meanwhile, this was the big upset. Kansas 26, USC 20. Frank Sire, 26 of 38 for 385 yards against the Trojan defense. Georgia this afternoon defeated South Carolina, 31-13 was the final in that game. West Virginia over Boston College, 27-17. Florida down Mississippi State, 35-12. Michigan dumped Wisconsin, 38-21 was the count there. Penn State won for the first time this season, 23-18 over Temple. And Brigham Young over Air Force, 46-28. Steve Young threw for 3 more touchdowns. He completed 39 of 50 passes for 496 yards. And we will continue here on CBS with more of the NCAA Today in just a moment.
Higher education today. People pursuing knowledge, discovering more about areas affecting our daily lives. Central College in Pella, Iowa, offers an outstanding program in international studies. What attracts people to this field?
I've always been intrigued by foreign cultures and people from other countries. I've wanted to know just what makes them tick. I firmly believe in the opportunities that exist for students to study overseas. This adds a new perspective on their life, teaches them to become more tolerant of people from different backgrounds.
And one of the things that happens in all of the foreign study programs is that the students become very close to one another. They're interested in what happens politically in other countries and other cultures with other languages.
I studied 9 months in Spain. I expected to learn more about the culture, the people, and to learn how to use the language in everyday conversation, everyday situations. What I didn't really expect was to learn so much about myself.
The students who return to our campus from study abroad provide us with a tremendously enriched environment, and their interaction with their fellow students on the campus following their return is a very vitalizing kind of experience.
Higher education today. Challenging, motivating the mind. The preceding message provided by the NCAA.
Coach, the Baltimore Orioles are closing in. Detroit lost this afternoon, and so tonight, the Baltimore Orioles, if they rally to beat Milwaukee, would wrap up the American League's Eastern Division. But as you can see right now, in the 8th inning, Milwaukee leads Baltimore 5-1. The magic number for the Orioles is 1. And you saw a mention of the Jockey Club Gold Cup. First things first, the Marlboro Cup. Highland Blade, a bit of an upset today, returned 23-80. When the season began, Highland Blade was a highly touted 3-year-old. Today showed his form in the Marlboro, and so 3 weeks from today, the Jockey Club Gold Cup here on CBS will determine the horse of the year. Now, meanwhile, up in Newport, Rhode Island today, the dramatic winner-take-all tiebreaker race between Liberty and Australia 2 was called off for lack of a steady breeze on Rhode Island Sound, but the postponement until Monday did not stop Australia's Alan Bond from trying, verbally at least, to take the wind out of Liberty's sails. Boasting a radical new wing keel design, Australia 2 rallied from a 3-1 deficit to force Liberty into an unprecedented 7th and sudden death race. And on Friday, it was Liberty skipper Dennis Conner deciding to do some redesigning of his own. Going for broke, Conner ordered 1,000 pounds of lead ballast removed and additional sail capacity added to the mast. And so it was quite a different yacht set to defend America's Cup this afternoon, but the weather did not cooperate.
It would have been very difficult to predict the shifts of the wind and the frequency as well, because they were varied. It wasn't shifting back and forth. It would shift one way and then quickly back the other, and sometimes it would phase over a period of time. So it would have been a difficult breeze.
Then Conner exercised his option to use tomorrow as a lay day. The winds, he hopes, will be more favorable to his lighter boat on Monday, and tomorrow he can test his reconfigured boat. Now, the Australians are claiming that Conner will again change Liberty, and they say that all such changes are illegal. As a result, Alan Bond, chairman of Australia 2 Syndicate, announced this afternoon that the favored challenger will fly the protest flag prior to Monday's race. He added that Australia will pursue its protest, win or lose. Coach, I know you've been following that story closely. You think that Liberty will come back Monday, don't you?
Whatever you say, Brad.
I'm going to take you back to a sport you do know a lot about, college football. We'll do that when the NCAA Today continues in just a moment.
I'd like to keep that great GM feeling, Mr. Goodwrench, but how am I supposed to know when to do what?
Just watch your 75s.
75s?
Here, to help you keep that great GM feeling, your GM maintenance schedule calls for a checkup every 7,500 miles.
Looks complicated, Mr. Goodwrench.
It isn't. All you have to do is watch the top of the charts and your odometer. We take care of the rest.
Keep that great GM feeling.
Mr. Goodwrench makes it easy.
With genuine GM parts.
Oh, no, I dropped it. It's broken. Can't somebody make a flashlight that'll work when you need it?
Duracell just did. Introducing DuraBeam, a flashlight that really works when you need it. DuraBeam's casing is as tough as a football helmet. The lens is shatterproof. It'll throw a light 50% brighter than ordinary flashlights. And obviously, it's weatherproof. Ask him how important that is. DuraBeam, new from Duracell. It really works when you need it.
The Rockies, the fresh of the Rockies. Brewed the Coors way, natural and pure.
Coors to you, the clean of it, all night through, the fresh of it. Rocky Mountain Gold, you got it. The best of the Rockies is yours.
Chrissy! Chrissy! We're out of ink.
I know.
Well, didn't I tell you yesterday to have some sent from Seattle?
Yes?
Well, why isn't it here? Didn't you use Federal Express?
No.
Well, why not?
Because you told me to save a little money.
But it isn't here.
But I saved you money.
Well, we're out of ink. Chrissy, you call us a newspaper. Look at it. You call us a newspaper. That's it.
Next time, send it Federal Express. Why fool around with anyone else? Mission complete. We're heading back. Over.
In today's Army, infantrymen like Sergeant Dennis Sirianni are armed with technology.
With the thermal sight, I can turn night into day and guide my unit home.
Roger, bro. Game. Howard Schnellenberger stated his case very well to his team about what he wanted to do.
He did. He said, make them put it up. And what he was saying at that point, and I had talked to him during the course of the week, he feared Bell and Pinkett as running backs and said, let's try to get Blair Keel to throw the football. Well, it became very prophetic because they did throw the ball, and it was intercepted. Right here, Keel on a bootleg pass comes back. Jay Brophy picks the ball off, and Miami gets field position right around the 30-yard line. They drove on down to about the 3 or 4 yard line, Now Speedy Neal takes it over the right side, and they get their first score. The next touchdown came as a result of a fumble. Now Kosar, the quarterback, puts the alley-oop right up over the top of the defenders of the Irish. The Irish did not disguise that blitz very well. Kosar read it and was able to deliver.
Era, did the media overrate this Notre Dame team coming into the season, or are we talking about athletes now who are uptight because they were beaten by Michigan State and can't relax down there? What do you think the problem is?
Well, I think they were a little shook by that Michigan State thing. I saw them last week. They're all really upset about it. They were angry about it. What happened to them, though, they had the misfortune of playing a Miami team here who was really up and been waiting on the Fighting Irish and playing a super game, a great defensive game and also a great offensive game. The Irish have made a lot of mistakes, although Berline took them on a very nice drive in that in the second period.
What do you think Gerry Faust should do in the second half?
I think what he ought to do is the very thing that Schnellenberg fears. Go back there and run with Greg Bell, run with Pinkett, run that fullback Smith, establish a base play, draw the linebackers up so that they can go ahead and open up the passing game if they're going to use either Keel or Berline. Don't throw the football until they establish that running game.
Right.
They can run it.
Coach, let's go down and see some of the halftime festivities, and here's Pat O'Brien. Pat?
Thank you, Brent. We are concluding what has turned out to be a spectacular halftime presentation. 500 people in all involved, and the theme is Miami's Magic. Let's look on.
Yes, Miami is a magic city, and part of its magic is the collegiate spirit enjoyed by the entire community. It's that spirit that we share here tonight.
We do, yes, we got to beat it. Nothing is immediate. No man's project, Becky, and the foot is ready. But we're rockin' ready, yeah! We're gonna rock this town right inside out. We're gonna rock this town, make them scream and shout. We're gonna rock this town, rock it inside out. We're gonna rock this town, rock it inside out.
It was the magic of sun, sand, and surf that brought Miami's original residents to their home on Biscayne Bay and its magic islands. Times change, but Miami's appeal remains the same.
Down among the sheltering palms, oh honey, wait for me, oh honey, wait for me. Meet me down by the old golden gate, out where the sun goes down the lane. How my love is yearning, yearning, yearning. How my love is yearning, yearning, yearning to be down among the sheltering palms, oh honey, wait for me.
Only in Miami has the American dream been forged into such a unique reality. A vibrant community of many cultures working together in the warmth of liberty and justice. Miami's magic is truly America's magic.
Rick LaCivita.
This has been an Edmonton production. Miami's Magic was directed by Russell Etling. Musical direction.
Miami's Magic, the halftime presentation here. More than 500 people from the Miami area participating in the halftime here. During the halftime, I was able to talk to a couple of the coaches of Notre Dame, and they tell me that Blair Keel will start the second half. The reason they took him out in the first place was obviously he had lost all his rhythm. The momentum was not going their way. It was obviously going Miami's way. They say Steve came in, he moved the ball well. Blair will start the second half. That concludes our halftime presentation. Let's go back up to Gary Bender and Pat Hayden.
All right, Pat. Pat Hayden, as you look at the first half, Notre Dame, self-destructive.
They've been the worst of their own enemies. They've turned the ball over, and where they've turned the ball over, down there in the 30-yard line, and Miami's turned those turnovers into touchdowns.
Another thing that Notre Dame did not do well, Pat, was on third down conversions. They were 2 of 9.
Well, those are the kind of things that keep drives alive. And the big thing, I think, in Notre Dame, they were faced 3rd and 8, I think, most of the afternoon or most of the evening, and those are difficult things to convert.
Now, let's talk about the coaching a little bit. Gerry Faust, we just heard Pat O'Brien say, will come back with Blair Keel in the second half. How do you analyze his coaching in the first half?
Well, Steve Berline, when he came in, he moved the team. And the only time really we've seen Notre Dame move the ball down the field when Berline has been in. The one call I do question of Coach Faust is when they blitzed Kozar twice in a row. We saw Kozar read that blitz twice in a row, and the second time he converted it into 7 points.
Well, you heard Arif Arsigian say that they've got to establish a running game, draw those linebackers in, and then establish the passing game. So some adjustments have been made at halftime. We'll be back with a second half kickoff in just a moment.
Mission complete. We're heading back. Over.
In today's Army, infantrymen like Sergeant Dennis Sirianni are armed with technology.
With the thermal sight, I can turn night into day and guide my unit home. Roger, Bravo 2-4. We have you in sight.
All that you can be, you can do it in the Army.
Welcome home, guys.
I've loved this river since I was just a kid. But as more people moved in, it was bound to get dirty. So I was glad the town upstream installed a treatment system. Phillips Petroleum developed the plastic that makes it possible. Now, I don't know much about gasoline, but I go to Phillips 66. Because I'm not just buying gasoline, it's like I'm helping keep my river clean.
Fine products for you and your car from Phillips Petroleum, the performance company.
Today, the most exciting new ideas in the hotel business come from Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn is a better place to be.
It works much better.
It tastes much better.
Better and better.
Really better.
Holodex 2, the industry's first bimodal reservation system, ensures your room is waiting. Innovations like this make Holiday Inn hotels #1.
Number one, your worldwide host. First with what you want the most.
Call 800-HOLIDAY.
Holiday Inn is a better place to be.
Miami, an exclusive presentation of CBS Sports, is sponsored by the new Chrysler Corporation, moving America ahead with advanced technology. Anheuser-Busch St. Louis, brewers of Michelob, some things speak for themselves. And by IBM.
The Orange Bowl, the second half, ready to go. As we mentioned at the start of the game, Miami won the toss. They elected to waive their option and received to start the second half. Let's look at some key faces now on the Miami offense.
Well, he has to be more and more impressed with their freshman quarterback, Bernie Kozar. There's Bernie right there. He threw that touchdown pass. We saw him read the blitz twice. Glenn Dennison, the tight end, has caught 4 passes for 44 yards. We said that was a key matchup, how many passes he was going to catch. Albert Bentley's mixed in a couple of nice runs.
A tough runner. Kicking off will be John Carney, a freshman from Jupiter, Florida, for Notre Dame. And Carney with the wind to his back. And Reggie Sutton will down it there. And at the 20-yard line, Miami with a 14-0 lead will have it. And now defensively, let's look at some of the key people for Notre Dame.
There's Mike Kovaleski, the young freshman linebacker. He's the young man we've talked about, been matched up against Glenn Dennison. He and Ferjanik, the 2 inside linebackers, they've lost the battle to Dennison, the tight end. And Stacey Turan, really most of the action's gone the other way to Pat Ballage.
Kozar will start the second half. Neil Bentley in the backfield for Howard Schnellenberger's team. Kozar, a lot of time, lots of time. Intended for Neil. Again, Pat, that offensive line of Miami's giving him time.
Well, the screenplay there was set up pretty well, but Mike Kovaleski, the young freshman linebacker that we just got finished talking about, read the play very well and made it very difficult for Kozar to try to get the ball to his back.
Remember now, in this third quarter, Miami headed into a gale. It is really blowing here, whipping around. 2nd and 10. Kozar, that's Dennison, the tight end. He got 4. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6. Dennison does not have the great speed, but you can see the excellent hands. Kovaleski, Ferjanik, the 2 men you just showed a while ago on the tackle.
Average error to go on 3rd down. Notre Dame 8 yards to go. You can't live in a 3rd and 8 world.
They were 2 of 9 on 3rd downs because of it. 3rd down, 6. That'll be a 1st down catch, and that is Dennison once again.
Right back to work. This was their game plan coming into the football game, was to get the ball to Glenn Dennison, the tight end, under those young Notre Dame linebackers. They've started out that in the first half, and here in the second half, they're coming right back to it. Again, excellent protection for Bernie Kozar. Give that offensive line some credit. Really, Dennison is wide open. Ferjanik comes in late after he's caught the ball to put the stop on him.
That's the 6th catch for Dennison for 58 yards. 1st down. They're coming after him on the blitz, and Joe Johnson blitzing was there. Made the stop on Bentley, and they're going to lose a couple of yards.
Well, you pointed out Joe Johnson, the strong safety, number 27, did blitz there. That's what they're going to have to do to try to put some pressure on Kozar, because if they don't, he's going to keep hitting Dennison, his tight end, and his backs all evening.
So the line of scrimmage now inside the 35, the 33.5. 2nd down, 11. Shakespeare, Brown split out, both to the bottom of the screen. The time to throw, and again it's Dennison, and Dennison has a 1st down. Schellenberger said he's a key to our offense. You can see why. Dennison with 7 catches.
One more look. Now, Bernie Kozar is his 2 wide receivers to his right. Glenn Dennison, the tight end, to his left. That time, Kozar knew he was going to him all the way. Once again, the linebackers are not there to make the play.
1st down. The ball now at the 47. Look at the protection, Pat. And that will be Ed Brown, and that will be a catch and very close to another 1st down. If it isn't a 1st down, it's a matter of inches.
We've seen Miami come right back out and throw the ball the second half successfully, as they did in the first half. They went to Dennison 3 times, and now to number 40, Ed Brown. The big thing that he does is come back and meet the ball right there before he steps out of bounds.
They're going to measure to see if he got the 1st down. But Kozar has picked up where he's left off, and it is a 1st down, but what impresses me here, Pat, it's into this wind, and he is throwing the ball with something on it.
It doesn't really seem to make a difference to this guy. He's 6'5", he's 204 pounds, he's got a very strong arm, and he can throw against a 20-mile-an-hour wind, a deep out pattern like that.
Neal, Bentley in the backfield. Shakespeare to the bottom. Brown to the top of the screen. Up the middle is Neal. And Speedy Neal gets a yard, maybe two. Mike Gann, Kovaleski combining on the tackle.
The coaching changes and the adjustments that Gerry Faust has tried to do late in the second half and here in the late in the first half and early in the second half was to try to put some pressure on Kozar. We saw the safety blitz earlier. That has not worked because of the composure of Kozar. He's read the blitz. We saw in the first half him throw the touchdown. He's done that here in the second half as well. He's read the blitz, called the audible.
And give credit to that Miami offensive line. Second down, 9. Rolls out, dumps it off to Neal, and Neal will pick up 3, maybe 4. Ballage, Kovaleski over to make the tackle. A little wrinkle that time. That was different from the previous plays. Let's point out some of those offensive linemen for Miami, Pat. Ian Sinclair is the center, 76. Alvin Ward, Juan Comandero, who's starting in place of Mike Moore, who they lost to a practice injury. And then Berticelli and Heffernan are the tackles. 3rd and 5. Kozar with time again. Delivery, complete to Bentley. That'll be a first down. 15-yard pickup, and Ballage, who's been thrown out a lot, made the stop. We have a man shaken up on the play.
Kozar continues to throw the ball around to a number of different receivers. We've seen him hit Dennison. We've seen him hit Ed Brown. Here, you're going to see him hit number 16, Bentley. On a little option route, he caught the ball, the defender fell down, and he picked up another first down.
We have a Notre Dame player down on the sideline. Kozar now is 17 of 25 for 166 yards. That is Joe Johnson. Johnson, the strong safety, will be back. There's a timeout. Miami by 14.
I revised the reports for Los Angeles. I'm finished.
There's a change.
I'm not finished. I'm finished.
Insert this.
I'm not finished. I'm finished.
Take out chart B.
I'm not finished.
If putting together a large document becomes a bigger job than it should be, that's not productive.
I'm finished. What?
And productivity is what IBM Office systems are all about. Today, IBM has a system that makes changing documents faster and easier.
John, don't worry. I revised the contracts for the meeting. They're fine, and they're on their way.
Thanks, Lucy. I'll go get them now. And within minutes, completely revised and collated documents can be sent to your business locations across the country. IBM Office Systems. With more than 40 years' experience, no one is more committed to the office, where it is now and where it will be. Where will you be?
I'm finished.
Add this.
Delete this.
I'm not finished.
IBM.
This is the initial drive of the second half, and Miami now has it first down at the 24. This man has hit 6 of 7 passes on this drive. Keith Griffin. And Griffin just going to go down. He gets to the 20. That'll be a gain of 4. Second down, 6. Pat, the first drive, so important. You want to establish what you can do in that second half.
Well, and we've seen Miami's game plan here, as it was in the first half, throw that ball to the tight end underneath that coverage. They've done that. And again, like we said, they passed the ball around. Their philosophy is a pro-style philosophy. They want the quarterback to drop back, throw the ball downfield, and they've done that here in the opening drive of the second half.
Kozar with a second down and 7. A little delay to Griffin inside the 15 to the 13, close to a first down, and I believe he got it. Pat, this Miami team is supposed to have a high-risk offense.
Yeah, well, and you've seen them mix the run and the pass here so well. They've actually only turned the ball over once, and you think they're the high-risk offense because they throw the ball so much. Actually, it's been Notre Dame that's turned the ball over tonight.
Howard Schnellenberger will await to see if they got the first down. getting the information from upstairs.
But good play calling here by Howard Snellenberger, too. They've come down in this drive, moving the ball through the air. They come up with a situation on 2nd down and 7. They give the ball to Griffin on a little delay. When you're throwing the ball as effectively as Miami has here tonight, the little delays, the draws to your backs are going to really complement that passing game.
Here is Gerry Faust talking to his team and says, let's come out and get started right. They haven't even gotten the football yet. We've almost played 5 minutes. This is the 12th play of this drive. Kozar to Griffin, and Griffin, maybe a yard or two. It'll bring up 2nd down. Mike Golick, 55 on the stop for Notre Dame, and they are working the clock. Talk about sustained football. Joe Johnson, by the way, has returned defensively for Notre Dame, so his injury, not serious. 2nd down, 9. And it looks like they may be sending somebody again on this play. Let's see if they blitz. Now Johnson dropped off. Kozar. And pressure put on, a fine sack that time. The first of the game for Notre Dame, and that was John Autry, the nose tackle, number 38.
Good counter-punching, though, really, by Coach Faust here, because it gave him the same look. It looked like a blitz. Kozar went to that same audible where he had his receiver running the little go pattern. He was not open. See, here's the coverage. It looks the same as he had before, but he's being covered by Ballage, number 40 right there. Ed Brown, they put enough pressure on him to get the sack.
Making that blitz may have thrown Kozar off. 3rd down, 16. Speedy Neal, and Neal gets some good yardage to the 10. Rick Naylor, number 37, and Chris Brown from the safety spot, and we're going to have a field goal attempt coming up.
Interesting play call on 3rd and 16. We've seen him throw the ball so effectively. What do you do after the team's expecting you to throw? You run a little draw to Speedy Neal, your fullback. Now, he didn't pick up the 1st down, but he got the ball all the way down to the 10-yard line and in nearly the middle of the field in perfect position to kick the field goal.
27-yard field goal attempt by Jeff Davis. Coming in here, he was 4 of 5. He had 3 field goals against Houston. And he hit that one down the middle. Nothing. Miami, a sustained drive, heating up the clock. 8 minutes left in this 3rd quarter.
There's only one way America is going to regain leadership in technology, by regaining the courage to invest in brains, plants, products that represent the future, not the past. At Chrysler, we've been doing just that. Front-wheel drive is not a novelty at Chrysler. We use it on family cars, luxury cars, sports cars, convertibles. This kind of thinking helped us pay off our government-guaranteed loans. And for that, we owe a lot of you our thanks. You've helped us stand on our own 2 feet again. But we're not standing still. We're introducing America's first 4-passenger front-wheel drive turbo sports cars, Chrysler Laser, Dodge Daytona. Our new technology has also created the most versatile vehicles built in America. Dodge Caravan, Plymouth Voyager. But technology isn't enough. You must have the courage to stand behind the products you build. Only Chrysler backs every car we build with a 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan. To turn a company around, you don't just need a lot up here. You need a little something in here.
The National Football Foundation's College Football Hall of Fame is the unique home for one of America's most colorful traditions. Visit it at Kings Island, Ohio on Interstate 71 just north of Cincinnati and relive the rich history of college football. It's a part of Americana you and your family don't want to miss.
Miami has added to their advantage. They lead 17-0. And Pat, this next drive coming up could be the most important of the season for this Notre Dame team.
They're down by 17 points and 8 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
And they are in difficulty, to say the least. They could go 1-2 for the year.
People in South Bend don't like that.
No, sir. Davis to kick off. Bell back deep. Against the win, a pretty good effort. Bell. And And Bell will bring it out to the 25-yard line. Okay, now let's look at the key players offensively for Notre Dame.
Blair Keel, number 5, the quarterback, he will start the second half. He is a co-captain. He's going to have to get it going. Neil Mounting, he's the offensive guard. He's the guy that's going to have to help establish that running game that Eric Parsegian talked about. And Alan Pinkett, Greg Bell, these two guys, the tailbacks, they're going to have to take some of the load themselves.
They've been shut down in this first half. On the 25, first down, Howard, Jackson split out. Keel pitching back to Pinkett. 5, 7, 8 yards. And now defensively, Miami will look for some leadership from these guys.
Tony Fitzpatrick, he has dominated Mike Kelly, the center of Notre Dame. Jay Brophy, we saw him make that outstanding interception in the first half. And Ken Sisk, he's been around the football an awful lot.
Boy, he started him out well. He had tackles early that were very impressive. Second down, 2. Smith, and Smith, with a second effort, has the first down. Kevin Fagan, 95, making the tackle for the Canes. The ball spotted just across the 35.
Blair Keel, this is a real test for any quarterback. You're down 17 points, a critical football game, a hostile environment. You really have to step forward here.
They fell short of a come-from-behind bid last week at home. Can they do it here? Keel on the play action. Jackson, oh, what a catch. No, they're saying he didn't hang on, or did they? Let's wait. Yes, he has it. That was a remarkable catch by Milt Jackson. 16-yard pickup. He took a shot.
And Blair Keel's got him on the move here in the second half. Again, the play-action fake. When you have your running game going as they have here early in this drive, you have to respect it. The ball well thrown to number 6, Milt Jackson, who goes high to catch the ball. Hit hard by Eddie Williams, but did hang on to it.
To the 49, Haywood and Favors now come in, split out to the top of the screen. Pinkett, and Pinkett for 2. Notre Dame needs to make their move with a wind to their back. There's Burline, who played so well in that second quarter, signaling the plays in to Blair Keel.
He's into it.
Did you pick it up? What was it?
Touchdown, I think he called.
There's the third down. Second down now, 9. Keel. And that is Alan Pinkett. He'll be 4, maybe 5 yards short of the first down. Julio Cortez, 99, making the tackle. Julio, a transfer from South Carolina. He lived in Cuba for a long time.
One more time, Notre Dame comes up and is faced with a 3rd and 5.
And that's what it is at the 5:22 mark of the third quarter. 17-0 here at the Orange Bowl. Gary Bender along with Pat Hayden. Miami, impressive thus far. Keel with time, and he delivers a pass for the first down. That's Mike's favorite. And we have a penalty flag. Snellenberger doesn't agree with it. On the reception. Personal foul against Miami. That's the second one of the night against the Hurricanes.
They play aggressive defense. You're going to have that happen every now and then.
Howard Snellenberger will be the first to tell you, Pat, that his players talk a lot out there. He says it's a war.
He doesn't discourage them.
Defense, personal foul, first down.
So the 15-yard penalty to the 23 of Miami. Howard and Haywood, the wide receivers. Keel gives to Pinkett to the 20, to the 18-yard line. Ken Siff, 36 on the stop for Miami.
Good call here by Gerry Faust on that last play. They're running into the boundary, into the short side of the field again. I mentioned that Miami's defense is slanting strong side, and their strong safety is playing to the wide side of the field. That's why Notre Dame is counter-punching and come back to the short side.
Notre Dame got down here 2 other times, had a field goal block, and another one short. Second down, a long 4. Mishandled snap, and Keel on it. You know, Pat, the previous play, that was not a good exchange between he and Mike Kelly. And this time, they didn't get an exchange. And that will cost him a down and bring up 3rd down. Lost a yard on the play as well. Third down and 6.
Sounds familiar.
Yes, it does. Remember, they were 2 of 9 in the first half on these. Boy, the crowd really into this now after that unsportsmanlike penalty. Complete to Pinkett, and Pinkett hit by Danny Brown, 41. Let's see if he got the first down. Danny Brown playing after 2 knee operations, number 41 for the Hurricanes. And they are going to have a first down.
A nice call here, Gary. We talked about them running into the short side. This time, you're going to see Blair Keel sprinting out into the wide side of the field. A quick throw to his back. Alan Pinkett, number 20, who makes a nice catch for the first down.
First down just outside the 10 at the 11. Smith. And Chris Smith, who played at LaSalle High School in Cincinnati. Jay Brophy on the tackle. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. Notre Dame still looking to get on the scoreboard. A lot of time getting away from them here. 2:38 left in the 3rd.
They have 2 more minutes of this win.
The pitch to Pinkett. And nothing. Brophy was there. Cortez was there. Reggie Sutton was there. A concerned man.
Come on, Skinny, get him out of the way. 3rd down.
3rd down again. This time, 6 yards. They can pick up a 1st and goal at the 1. I believe, the Barrow, the intended receiver.
Blair Keel rolling out to his left after the play-action fake. Now he's going to look to his 2 wideouts who are well covered, then lobs the ball, attempting to throw it over the defenders to his tight end, number 82, Mark Bavaro, but it is knocked out of his reach. One more look. Again, throwing to his left is a much more difficult throw for a quarterback. He has to get his shoulders turned. It's tough to put any zip on the ball. As you can see, that ball throwing and just lob. Number 1, Reggie Sutton.
It was
Sutton playing the ball.
This is a field goal attempt now at 24 yards by Johnston. And Sutton got it. It's Sutton again.
Another look at number 1, Reggie Sutton, coming in from the right side of the screen. He blocked one earlier. Again, he was not blocked at the line of scrimmage. The wingman on that formation has to slow the end man of the line of scrimmage down. He did not do that. It let Reggie Sutton come clear from the outside.
Reggie Sutton batted down the 3rd down pass, comes back and blocks the field goal.
So I said to her, why don't... Look how Dad's dressed. Snazzy. The cows won't recognize him.
I'm going to talk to IBM about a computer for our farm.
IBM? A computer?
It's a special demonstration. I'm invited. I'm going. Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
As innovation brings down the cost of computers, more and more business people have an opportunity to put this technology to work with them.
Where you headed, Jeff?
A meeting with IBM.
Well, excuse me.
And if you've never worked with computers before, we'll teach you the basics. Soon you'll actually be able to demonstrate it to yourself.
I think I've got it. This can help cut my costs.
Easier than you thought, Jeff?
My cows are about to enter the computer age.
You think they're ready?
They'll be tickled pink.
IBM Small Computers, a right one for your business, whether it's big or small.
IBM, an official sponsor of the 1984 Olympics.
Next Saturday, a national title will be at stake when they play the singles final of the U.S. Women's Indoor Tennis Championship. Next Saturday on CBS Sports.
This is Pat O'Brien on the sidelines. One of the things before the game that Gerry Faust said to Blair Keel, I was standing next to him, was if you win the toss, exercise your option for the second half. They didn't win the toss. He wanted to win behind them. They had it that last drive. Obviously, it didn't do very well for them. The wind is shifting around here a lot tonight. Let's go back up to Gary and Pat.
All right, Pat, it's quite apparent it is as you stand down there. The blocked field goal by Reggie Sutton sets it up at the 20 for Miami. Kozar to Keith Griffin. Griffin for 5, maybe 6. Pat, an alarming statistic for Notre Dame. Now, just check this. The last 3 possessions for Notre Dame, they started at their own 19, their own 33, their own 25. They had a blocked field goal, a missed field goal, and another blocked field goal, kicking from the 10, 13-yard. You know, it's amazing.
It's got to be disheartening to your whole football team that you can see some disappointed Irish players right there on the bench. Not only are they battling the clock, the wind, they're battling a very good football team as well.
Second down, 5 for Miami. Shakespeare and Brown split out. Kozar, Griffin again, and 2, maybe 3. He'll be 2 yards short of the first down. Joe Johnson on the tackle, but we have a penalty flag. Penalty flag thrown at the conclusion of the play at the 28-yard line. Joe Johnson coming off the field. Notre Dame's safety a little shaken up. He's sitting down over there. Personal foul against Miami again. Well, tomorrow we're going to have an NFL doubleheader day on CBS Sports. And in the early game, many of you are going to see the Saints take on the Cowboys. You know they've only beaten the Cowboys 1 time, but Bum Phillips has that ball club rolling. Then in the second game, it'll be the Washington Redskins against the Seattle Seahawks. And some of you will see the Rams and Jets, plus other regional action. It all starts with the NFL today, 12:30 Eastern Time tomorrow. Be sure and be with us.
Foul on the red team, 3rd down.
Pat, those Rams of yours lost a tough one to Green Bay.
They've been a surprise this year. The Jets, whom they'll be playing tomorrow, have been a disappointment.
There is Johnson. Took himself out of the game a while ago. Must be a shoulder pad problem. 3rd down now. About 16 to go after the penalty. Kozar, pressure this time, and the defender pushed the receiver down. That's Ballage who pushed down the Miami receiver, Ed Brown. It was very flagrant.
Wasn't even close. Pat Ballage doesn't agree. You have to admire the call. It's 2nd and 16 with a 17-point lead, but they're not going to sit on it. The play action fake. He steps up and throws it into a 20-mile-an-hour wind. Number 40, Pat Ballage, had pushed Ed Brown, the receiver, and it was clearly an infraction. They call it, gives him a 1st down.
Well, it's been a frustrating night for Pat Ballage. He's going to be a fine football player for Notre Dame, but he's getting a little frustrated the way they've been coming at him all night long.
Anybody would be frustrated facing Bernie Kozar tonight.
You like him?
I'm impressed. A little too tall for me.
First down, Neal, and now Griffin in the backfield. There's a flanker around reverse. Brown to the 39. Another penalty flag has been thrown. Kovalevsky stayed home pretty well that time. The freshman giving credit on that one. It's going to be holding against Miami. All right. We're telling you some games on the West Coast. Oh, boy, is that a surprise. Jerry Stovall's Tigers and SMU had a battle with the Horned Frogs. Boy, that is a real upset. That was played in Mississippi, and Billy Brewer, the new coach, his first victory. Holding. And Purdue, after really getting hammered by these two teams winning, Washington State, a battle Las Vegas. Washington State, pretty good football team, and Kansas State over Wyoming. Wyoming last week upsetting the Air Force. First down now, 20, after the last holding penalty against Miami. Gozar, the protection is there again. And he throws a strike to Shakespeare. Still short of the first down, but he got a lot of it back. 15 yards to be exact.
Gary, a lot of people are probably wondering, with a 17-point lead, the clock is running down the third quarter, the throwing against the wind, why is Miami doing it? Miami's doing it because this is what they do best.
And I would say that they've impressed everybody here tonight, not to mention the ones watching on television at home. That's going to be the last play of this third quarter. The score, Miami 17, Notre Dame nothing. Notre Dame and Miami is an exclusive presentation of CBS Sports. We'll be back with fourth quarter action after this message and a word from your
Now Avis has the fastest way for you to return your car and get this record of your rental charges without waiting at the counter. I'll prove it. Our new Avis Rapid Return is as easy to use as your pocket calculator. You just punch in your car number, your mileage, your gas gauge reading. In less than a minute, out comes a record of your rental charges. Try our new Avis Rapid Return. It's another Avis first. It's fast, it's easy, and it's only at Avis.
This is CBS.
I won the NASCAR Grand National title 3 consecutive times. The only guy in history who's ever done that. But when I opened my tire and service center, I was just another local businessman. So I came on strong in the Southern Bell Yellow Pages with a big ad that really stops my customers and gives them all the facts. And today, you know what folks say to me?
Hey, pal, change the tires, clean the windows, and make it snappy.
Big winners come on strong in the Southern Bell Yellow Pages.
Everyone has a dream. For some, it's wealth. For others, it's escape to the South Seas. For Ed Williamson of Williamson Cadillac, the dream is that one day everyone will drive a new Cadillac. And he's willing to do whatever it takes to make that dream come true.
They were going to buy a Ford. Thank goodness they got here in time.
Williamson Cadillac, across from Dadeland.
The so-called Halo Girl comes back home. The story after the game.
Notre Dame versus Miami, an exclusive presentation of CBS Sports, is sponsored by Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products.
The Orange Bowl, 15 minutes left to be played. Miami with a 17-0 lead.
There's a shot at the Miami bench, a very confident football team.
What about on the other side?
A very confused team, I think, Gary, and a disappointed one as well. That picture tells the story.
You know, we've talked about the Miami offense, but let's give the defense some credit. They have just completed their 10th straight shutout quarter. They came in here with 7. They've added 3 to it. Second down 5 for the Hurricanes as we start the fourth quarter. They have the wind to their backs. Looks like he might be changing the play. Kozar, all kinds of time. Shakespeare looks like he's just short of the first down. It'll bring up a third down.
You're seeing we saw some of the confusion and disappointment in the shots of Notre Dame's bench. When you're playing a passing team like Miami, there's two things you can do. You can try to blitz and put pressure on the quarterback, or you can drop back in coverage. Notre Dame has tried to do both of those things, and with little success. That time we saw a blitz, Kozar still had an awful lot of time to throw the ball.
Do you feel they have adjusted, but just not able athletically to do it?
I just don't think so. I think this Miami team, this offensive line in particular, has done an absolutely superb job of protecting Kozar.
That is Greg Bell. As you know, he was out last year with a broken ankle, and this time with some ice. Notre Dame plays at Colorado next week. Miami goes to Duke. Third down, less than a yard. Again, he's changing the play. Kozar to Neal, and Neal's got the first down. James Spielmaker, 34 now playing, one of the seniors, one of the 11 seniors that figures on this Irish team, making the tackle.
But you hit the nail on the head. Again, you saw the composure and the intelligence of Bernie Kozar as he changed the play, changed the formation and the strength, and ran Speedy Neal to his left for the first down.
He might be the next Rhodes Scholar. He's got a 3.9 GPA.
He's got my vote.
He's in engineering. First down. Kozar on target. Hit Brown. First down. 17-yard pickup.
Bernie Kozar has a shot arm. Now, they've been picking on number 40, Pat Ballage, the defensive back right there. We've seen that all night. Ed Brown runs a square out. The ball is delivered on a line right on the numbers. You can't help but catch that one.
Good hustle there by Furjanic, number 58, the middle linebacker, back to make the tackle.
Can you imagine 4 more years of this fellow?
Boy, they've got a couple of good ones behind him.
They may not play much.
First down, Bentley. Bentley 5, spins, and that will be another first down. Kovalevsky on the stop. Brown comes out. John Smetana, number 7, comes in at wide receiver. Well, Howard Snellenberger, 1 and 2, get Miami on the map. He came in here, promoted this game, got the city excited about it, and his football team has delivered. Minutes to go. Kozar and Tano just checked in, and that's an interference call. Stacy Turan, number 30, defending on Santana, a former quarterback here at Miami. He's out of Northfield, Ohio.
How many times have you seen teams with big leads just run conservative type of offenses? Miami's not doing that. They want some more. You see number 7, John Smetana. The ball is well thrown. Again, number 30, Stacy Turan, comes over the top with his left arm and interferes.
I don't think this guy knows how to pull in the reins and be conservative. Wide open.
Coached under Don Shula, George Allen, Bear Bryant,
Clanton Collier, and who else can we add?
Some good ones.
First and goal now at the 7. Bentley. I'm impressed by the second effort of the Miami running back. Second and goal now outside the 3, maybe the 4. Alley, Kovalevsky making the stop for the Irish. Kozar has hit 9 passes in a row, 9 of 10 in the second half, 11 of 18 in the first half. He's a freshman. Second and goal from the 4. And he's going to call a timeout again, showing good presence of mind, the experience. And you can see Howard Snellenberger commends it. 17-0. Miami with the lead.
There's only one way America is going to regain leadership in technology: by regaining the courage to invest in brains, plants, products that represent the future, not the past. At Chrysler, we've been doing just that. Front-wheel drive is not a novelty at Chrysler. We use it on family cars, luxury cars, sports cars, convertibles. This kind of thinking helped us pay off our government-guaranteed loans. And for that, we owe a lot of you our thanks. You've helped us stand on our own 2 feet again. But we're not standing still. We're introducing America's first 4-passenger front-wheel drive turbo sports cars: Chrysler Laser, Dodge Daytona. Our new technology has also created the most versatile vehicles built in America: Dodge Caravan, Plymouth Voyager. But technology isn't enough. You must have the courage to stand behind the products you build. Only Chrysler backs every car we build with a 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan. To turn a company around, you don't just need a lot up here. You need a little something in here.
Bernie Kosar. Pat, your thoughts about it?
Howard Snellenberger asks an awful lot of his quarterbacks, but Bernie Kosar has done everything that's been asked of him. You can see 20 of 28, 202 yards, is autobolized at the right times, made the right decisions, and thrown the ball in the right places.
Second and goal at the 4-yard line. Bentley trying to take it in, and it's going to be a 3rd down. Remember the first touchdown, they ran right at him inside the 5-yard line. Greg Dingens out of Bloomfield, Michigan, 92, making the tackle for Notre Dame. Jim Johnson, George Kelly, Faust standing behind them. 3rd and goal. Speedy Neal. It's going to be 4th and goal. Berjanik, 58. Spielmaker, 34, making the stop for Notre Dame.
Give Notre Dame's defense some credit here, Gary. They're not going to roll over and die. Watch the line surge of the defensive front of Notre Dame. It's 3rd and goal from the 2. They gave it to the big fullback, Speedy Neal. But the right side of that defensive line and the linebacker, Tony Berjanik, come in and put the stop on Neal.
Tell you a guy that did a pretty good job was Tim Marshall at nose tackle. He stopped that forward thrust. All right, 4th and goal. They're going for 6. Kosar. And Notre Dame will take over. That was Dennison, the intended receiver, and Toran did a fine job.
4th and goal. It did not really fool the Notre Dame defense. A play-action pass. Notre Dame was certainly ready for it. Bentley tried to jump over the top of pressure by number 9, Chris Brown. Makes Kosar throw it a little before he wanted to.
And so the Irish, deep in their own territory, may have the football.
Experience a new high-performance road car. Experience the 1983 Mazda 626 Sport Coupe. Experience its all-new 2-liter overhead cam engine, advanced front-wheel drive, and patented independent rear suspension. Mazda 626 outstanding performance sets it apart. Outstanding value puts it in a class by itself. The more you look, the more you like the Mazda Experience.
The beauty of a Delta faucet is, when it's on, it's on. And when it's off, it's off. Its washerless design helps keep it from dripping, so it lasts and lasts and lasts. Delta faucet. We're first because we last.
Notre Dame, the last shutout, that was in South Bend against Missouri, a season opener, 3-0. And look how far they have to go to avert a shutout. 99 yards.
to Smith. And Smith doing a fine job to the 6. Reggie Sutton made the tackle. That last drive, even though Miami did not score, they did one thing that Notre Dame did not like. They took 6 minutes and 36 seconds off the clock.
You see, Miami has played 10 consecutive shutout quarters, and really tonight, Tony Fitzpatrick, number 62, the nose guard, has played an outstanding game, really dominated Mike Kelly, the center from Notre Dame.
We have 10 minutes to play, and the crowd here in Miami, they're loving it. Second and 5. Keel, and it's dropped. That was Mark Brooks, 35. He was expected to be the heir apparent to Larry Moriarty, who's now playing in the NFL. But Smith beat him out. Brooks also from Moeller High School in Cincinnati.
3rd and 5 once more, Gary.
It's been a broken record as far as Gerry Faust is concerned. There's your time. Jackson and Howard split out. Heel from the end zone. Complete, and that will be a first down to Joe Howard. And so Blair Keel gets him out of a very difficult situation. That pass has moved Blair Keel ahead of Terry Hanratty in career attempts with 15 tonight. He had to have, what, 48 completions to break Hanratty's record likewise. First down. Keel, it's complete to Bavaro. Mark Bavaro, and that is close to another first down. And it will be a first down. Joe Colbrand, 48 over to make the tackle. Notre Dame is not used to losing football games. We talked about the legendary coaches, the success, 7 national championships. Look at that. That is a Hall of Fame.
Quite an act to follow.
Dan Devine recruiting the seniors on this team. The last seniors, guys like Turan, Blair Keel. Keel on a first down, and that's overthrown. Jackson, the intended receiver.
But that stat, too, we just saw really tells a story about the pressure on a head coach at Notre Dame University. People expect you to win. They compare you to those kind of coaches, but that's part of the job. You realize that when you go to Notre Dame.
Gerry Faust working so hard, somehow trying to get Notre Dame back to where they want to be. But he's now in the throes of a 2-game losing streak, the way this is going. 9:16 left in it. Haywood and Favorite now in. Keel, and that's Favorite. Can't hang on. Pretty good coverage that time.
By guess who? Number 1, Reggie Sutton.
They thought they would pick on Reggie Sutton, being the freshman.
It's interesting you mentioned that. Everybody has tried to pick on Reggie Sutton, number 1 for Miami, and he's responded week after week.
There's the stats on Keel. Pat, you picked up something on Blair from last week. You didn't think he was squaring his shoulders up like he should when he threw on a sprint out.
On his rollouts and sprint outs, but actually they have dropped back more tonight than I expected.
3rd down, 10. On the target to Alonzo Jefferson. First down. Blair Keel, a gritty performance. Remember, this started from the 1-yard line. 16-yard pickup. Jefferson broke all of Anthony Carter's records here in the Florida area. 75 touchdowns in his high school career. You know what they're averaging for the year? Notre Dame is averaging 311. That's about half.
Well, we talked about Miami's defense, how well they've played.
First down from the 40. Keel. And there's a little mix-up there because Howard, one of those hitch-and-go patterns, was flying down the field, and Keel threw the ball about 10 yards behind him. 2nd and 10.
Blair Keel, what a nice man he is. He told me yesterday, after last week's loss, he was really taking some criticism, not only from the community, but from the fans as he walked out the stadium. He told me, hey, all I want to do is come out here and have some fun. I may not play much longer. I just want to enjoy the game of football.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, he married his high school sweetheart, July 30th. 2nd down, 10. And that is picked up by Smith. Ken Smith. Interception by Blair Keel. He threw 3 last week. Miami has the football and the lead.
Experience a new high-performance road car. Experience the 1983 Mazda 626 Sport Coupe. Experience its all-new 2-liter overhead cam engine, advanced front-wheel drive, and patented independent rear suspension. Mazda 626 outstanding performance sets it apart. Outstanding value puts it in a class by itself. The more you look, the more you like the Mazda Experience.
Sid and Sammy's Sub Shop had a big slice of the sandwich market.
Must be your salami, Sammy.
I'm waiting.
They wanted to get into knockwurst, bratwurst, yockwurst, and liverwurst.
In the worst way.
But a refrigeration failure turned their best wurst into the world's worst wurst. Fortunately, they had a business owner's special policy from Sentry Insurance.
So we didn't have to swallow our losses.
If you run a business, call Sentry, where all's well, even when all isn't.
Many of the players on the field today are products of junior college football programs. The National Junior College Athletic Association urges your continued support of its over 550 junior and community colleges. NJCAA, providing leadership for today's junior and community colleges.
Coming up with the interception out of Southwest High School. Let's look at it again.
We've talked about some of the good decisions the Kozars made. Blair Keel just makes a poor decision right here to try to throw the ball to his tight end. Ken Siss, number 36, steps right in front of Bavero and makes the interception.
Well, we got to think about him for MVP. He started out playing well defensively, picks off the pass. There's the turnovers, 2 interceptions. Kozar remains in a quarterback. Bentley, Griffin, the running backs. Gets it off to Bentley. And Bentley has Turan over there with him. And that'll be a first down. Not a bad ad-lib effort. 13-yard pickup by Bentley. Kozar that time, Pat, showing me some foot speed. He just got away from those 2 Notre Dame defensemen.
Surprising for such a big man.
Line of scrimmage, the 26. Bentley comes out. Speedy Neal comes in with Keith Griffin. There with 8:05. Miami trying to add to their 17-0 lead. Kozar giving to Griffin. Look at this effort. Instead of no gain, it's a 4-yard pickup. Pat Mallett making the tackle for Notre Dame.
A lot of people said Keith Griffin, as well as all the Griffin brothers, were never big enough to play the full game of football. But deep, you're going to see a big heart and determination by Keith Griffin, number 44. He just breaks 3 or 4 tackles, refuses to be tackled, bounces outside. Finally, number 40, Pat Ballett, who's had a rough evening, pulls Keith Griffin down. Great determination.
They say Griffin is probably the most avid weightlifter they have, and that might have paid off on that run. 2nd and 6. Kozar, and he gets it off to Dennison. Didn't get any yardage, maybe a yard, but it certainly had some people excited. Chris Brown making the tackle. Pat, we want to take this opportunity to thank Miami's new athletic director, Sam Jankovic, and his staff for their help since we've been here. They've just been tremendous. We also want to say a special thanks to head coach Howard Schnellenberger and his staff and sports information director Ron Steiner. And from Notre Dame, I want to thank athletic director Gene Corrigan and coach Gerry Faust and his staff, sports information director Roger Baldessari, and also John Heisler. Really been extremely helpful to both of us. 3rd down and 3. Defending on the play was Naylor. Let's go back down now to our own Pat O'Brien.
Thank you. In the last couple of drives, I've been observing Coach Schnellenberger. And he's very methodical, unlike most coaches, including Faust. He doesn't wear the headsets. He stands very close to Mark Trestman, his quarterback coach. Trestman seems to have Coach Schnellenberger's ear on almost every play, and the Trestman-Schnellenberger connection seems to be working. Let's go back to Gary.
I think that's exactly right. Here is Jeff Davis. He had a 27-yard field goal earlier. This will be a 36-yard attempt. And that one is right down the middle. It's 20-0. Miami adds 3 more to their advantage. 6 minutes, 6 seconds left to play.
Experience a new high-performance road car. Experience the 1983 Mazda 626 Sport Coupe. Experience its all-new 2-liter overhead cam engine, advanced front-wheel drive, and patented independent rear suspension. Mazda 626 outstanding performance sets it apart. Outstanding value puts it in a class by itself. The more you look, the more you like the Mazda Experience.
This is a caddy. Not the car, but my friend Jeff here. And when he's not on the course, he's under the hood. But that's the way I was with my first car. I grew up with Pennzoil taking care of the Palmer machinery, so I know about Pennzoil protection. By the way, Jeff, what motor oil are you using?
You better believe it's Pennzoil.
They're never too young to learn to take care of the old equipment.
Pennzoil, quality protection. Ask for it.
Well, this is labeled a shocker, a stunner right now. Miami with a 20-0 lead. 6 minutes, 6 seconds left to go. And the crowd here celebrating. Alan Pinkett will return this kickoff. Bell out with the injury. You saw him earlier with the ice on his right ankle. There'll be no return. That's been the story all night long when they kicked from right to left. Well, Bernie Kosar, we knew he was a good one. We thought he was going to be, at time, a great one, but he played great tonight.
Well, he surprised me. You know, Coach Schnellenberger was very, very high on him. But like we said, he hadn't played a down of football until 3 weeks ago. And he's come in and played this well against a team that has the kind of tradition that Notre Dame has on national television. A remarkable performance.
He had 9 straight in the second half. Steve Berline now has returned the quarterback for Notre Dame. Setting up the screen to Smith. And Miami reads it, and they throw him for a loss. Ken Calhoun, Fred Robinson on the tackle. Miami 2 years ago won here, 37-15. Last year, they thought they had won the game with 2.5 minutes to go, only to have Johnston kick a field goal with 11 seconds left to win it 16-14. Berline, 2nd and 10, Pinkett. And that'll be a gain of 5. It'll bring up 3rd down. There's Kosar. I don't know about you, but he gets my vote for MVP.
You put the pressure on me. How can I vote against him?
Hey, Pittsburgh!
Berline scrambling around. Broken up nicely. That's Fernandez. Jack Fernandez. And now it comes to a 4th down. 4th down with 5:04.
Well, at least it isn't 3rd and 5.
There's so much coming into this game. that Miami wanted to do. They wanted to change their image of the city here. They wanted to put themselves back on the football map, and they've accomplished both of those. Burline complete to the 34-yard line, and that will be a first down. That's Joe Howard. And Notre Dame now hurrying things up with 4:58 left. Number 85 is Brian Beamer, who's in at tight end. That's Jackson, and he's out of bounds. It won't count. Reggie Sutton defending on the play. Miami has shut out Notre Dame once. That was in 1965. But they were shut out also. It ended up 0-0. Texas now starting to build a lead. Arizona, Larry Smith has the Wildcats playing well. And San Diego State, these are finals over the University of Texas, El Paso. And Arizona State, Darryl Clack in the first half had 150 yards rushing for the Sun Devils. 2 touchdowns. Second down, 10. Chris Smith across the 40 to the 41.
Burline showing some nice composure here.
That'll set it up at the 41. Third down, 3. Haywood and Favorite now come in. They're not huddling. Burline getting a little experience here. He's going to run. He's got the first down.
Burline.
Danny Brown, 41 on the tackle. Quite a story on Danny Brown. He and Juan Comandero, the guard, almost drowned this year out in the ocean. Their boats took on water, and they hung onto a water cooler until they could be rescued. They both thought they were goners. They're glad to look back on that as an experience that they survived to win this game tonight. That's incomplete. Mike Haywood, the intended receiver. Pat, a game like this will help Miami immensely. Howard Snellenberger talked about his recruiting. He has what he calls the state of Miami area.
And he also recruits certain types of people, again, for his offense, the pro-style type of offense. He has to recruit those kind of people, the offensive linemen who can pass block, receivers who know how to catch the football, tall, strong-armed quarterbacks.
Second and 10. And it's going to be 3rd and 10. But to get back to the state of Miami, what he talked about was when he first came to Miami, he recruited almost strictly here in Miami. Then he added counties to the north, and now he's headed all the way up to Tampa, the Orlando area. And Miami, as we mentioned, next week will be at Duke and Louisville, Mississippi State, Cincinnati, and they've taken a big step to a major bowl if they can continue this way. Flag on the play. Burline complete to Alvin Miller. That's the freshman many people consider to be the prep player of the year out of Kirkwood, Missouri. Gain to the 50. Going to bring up still 5 yards to go for the first down. At the penalty flag back at the 35. And Pat, on the other side, the Notre Dame mystique. You know, we asked Snellenberger about it. He says, we don't look at it as being a mystique. I don't know if he really meant that or he was trying to convince himself of that.
I don't believe that. I really believe Notre Dame does have a mystique. I think every high school player in the country either wants to go to Notre Dame or play against Notre Dame.
But they've tarnished that a little bit here tonight. Miami has.
I think the mystique will always be there.
It's 3rd down after the penalty. Some injuries. That's that Johnson. Steve Burline back. And he's going to be sacked. That was Kevin Fagan, also Dallas Cameron back there.
Superb pass coverage. Of course, Miami knows that Notre Dame has to throw the ball. They drop everybody in deep coverage. It was 3rd and 17. He's waiting for somebody to come open. Finally, the rush gets there. number 98, Jerome Brown.
And so timeout is called by Notre Dame. They have 2 remaining with 3:07 to go.
Experience the 1983 Mazda GLC sedan. A luxurious front-wheel drive economy car with contoured bucket seats, 5-speed overdrive, versatile split fold-down rear seats, and almost unbelievable trunk space. GLC sedan. Its performance is unexpected, but its value is just what you've come to expect from Mazda. The more you look, the more you like the Mazda experience.
Seguin, Texas, and Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. Seguin means barbecue at its biggest and best, and Milwaukee means beer. Cold, crisp, old Milwaukee beer, and smooth, golden old Milwaukee Light. And old Milwaukee. And old Milwaukee Light. Tastes as great as their name.
You know, it doesn't get any better than this.
Join Brent Musburger, Ara Pazigan, and Pat O'Brien for the full story on game day and college football on the NCAA Today, Saturday on CBS Sports.
Notre Dame called timeout, and now on 4th down and 18. Burline to Jackson, and that is a very fine throw and catch. 1st down. On 4th and 18, a 21-yard completion. That was threading it, wasn't it?
You don't have too many plays in your playbook for 4th and 18, but Steve Burline drilled the ball in there to number 6, Milt Jackson. Again, good protection. Everybody's dropping off in coverage, so there shouldn't be much problem protecting the passer, but he throws it in between 3 defenders.
Back to live action. Burline dropped. That's Jerome Brown, number 98, a freshman out of Brookville, Florida. And the loss will go back to the 45-yard line. 2nd down, and right now we have a timeout again by Notre Dame. So the Irish will send Burline to the sideline, and we're going to send you to this message or messages with 2:36 left to go.
Okay, cross X right on 2. In a ball game, I don't care how much I sweat. The more I sweat, the meaner I feel. But off the field, I want to feel nice and dry, and I want to smell nice. That's why I use Speed Stick Super Dry Antiperspirant.
Speed Stick's the wide stick. Gives me effective protection in just a few strokes. Helps fight wetness and odor all day.
Get the wide stick for protection. Speed Stick Super Dry Antiperspirant by Menon.
Someday soon, you could very well have the best of everything. But you will have to begin somewhere. And the best place to begin is with the very best beer in the world. The best tasting beer wherever you go. When you think about it, why would you ever have anything else?
Come to think of it, I'll have a Heineken.
Burline doing a very creditable job for Notre Dame. Now has the 2nd and 14 being rushed. And Cortez and Brown are over there. Brown, who's made 2 fine defensive plays back-to-back. And they're going to lose yardage back across the 50 into the Notre Dame end of the field. 3rd down coming up. That's the 3rd sack by Miami. Miami not big. They got some pretty tough customers out there.
They love to play the game. They've had a lot of people around the ball all evening defensively.
Alvin Miller split to the bottom. Jackson to the top. Burline with pressure, and he threw another strike to Miller. That is a very impressive throw again. That's 2 of them on this drive by Burline. 25-yard pickup. Miller just single-handedly led his high school to the state championship track meet. They won the title. He won everything. Burline Favero, the intended receiver. That stops the clock with 2:09. And so the line of scrimmage will be the 25-yard line. Notre Dame trying to avert the shutout. For the first time, 1978, they would go down without a point on the scoreboard. There's Johnston, who might have a chance to avert the whitewash. Joel Williams in a tight end now for Notre Dame. And it's caught by the man we just mentioned, Williams, to the 20-yard line. Jack Fernandez made the stop. Line of scrimmage now at the 20. There with 1:53, you see the time. Burline now 11 of 20, 133 yards. 3rd and 4. And he dumped it ahead to Alan Pinkett. And that'll be another first down for Notre Dame. Showed a nice touch.
And fine catch by Pinkett, and then he kept his feet in bounds for the reception.
First down, Irish. At the 11.
The line of scrimmage, the 11-yard line. First down. Miller comes back in. Jackson will check out. You know, Notre Dame doesn't want to get shut out. They'd love somehow to get this one in. 18th play of this drive, believe it or not. Burline inside the 10. Close to the 7. 2nd down, 1:29. Fred Robinson and Faust calls timeout.
The Burline was shaken up on the play.
Kevin Smith is their 3rd-string quarterback if they would go to him. Blair Keel, of course, playing earlier. Yeah, you're exactly right. He's hurting out there. No timeouts left for Notre Dame with 1:27. The line of scrimmage is at the 7. Okay, the Chevrolet MVPs. We're ready to go. I'm sure one of them will not surprise you at all. The first guy will surprise you maybe, but Steve Burline, the freshman quarterback out of Fullerton, California. We just thought he did a very creditable job coming in here, hitting 12 of 21 for 141 yards. But the guy that I'm sure everybody would pick for Miami, quarterback Bernie Kosar. He did it all. A check in the amount of $1,000 will be donated to each college's general scholarship fund to further assist qualified students in all chosen academic fields. Kosar, by the way, with 217 yards passing. 1 touchdown. 2nd down from the 7. Burline trying to avert the shutout. Pinkett inside the 5. It'll be 3rd down. Gabe Brophy making the tackle. No timeouts left for the Irish. 1:13 left in the game. They could pick up a 1st and goal at about the half-yard line. Burline, Jackson, the intended receiver. Bellinger over there defending. And we have 54 seconds left. The issue, avoid the shutout.
And 4th down.
All right, Hayden, you're a quarterback. What are you going to call here?
I would expect to see Burline actually sprint out, roll out to his right again. Put a little pressure on the defense. Run or pass.
Man arriving late in the huddle.
They better hurry.
They've got 16 seconds on the clock to get this play underway. They're down to 8. 5. 4. They did it. Burline. And on 4th down, they don't get it. He didn't have a chance. The disappointment of defeat. And the first shutout since 1978 for Notre Dame. Notre Dame had that ball for 20 plays and didn't get it in. That's frustration. It just adds to the frustration the Irish have experienced here tonight. Gozar dropping to a knee. Seconds away from a big, big victory in the history of Miami football. And the man that was the architect of it is bringing the final seconds. Miami has upset and shut out the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Final score, Miami defeating Notre Dame 20-0. They have now picked up their third win against only one setback. Notre Dame for the year now goes to 1-2 for the year. It's been a big night for the South Florida city with this victory tonight.
Here comes the most advanced piece of machinery in shaving history. The new Norelco Rotatract, the razor that challenges the world. Every blade, every electric, every shaving instrument ever made. In closeness, comfort, speed, and quality. It's the shaving machine you've been waiting for, or your money back. Advanced technology Rotatract razors. The first to challenge the world. New from Norelco.
Up before the sun, got the Honda ATC, gonna have some fun. Going freewheeling, it's my lucky day. Going freewheeling, come on out and play. Take it up, take it down, round and round and round. Going freewheeling, got the Honda ATC, going freewheeling.
Call me when you get a quasar.
Call us, dear, when you get a quasar.
For quality and dependability, shouldn't you have a quasar?
Miami 20, Notre Dame nothing, and Pat Hayden, your thoughts?
Two factors, Gary. I think turnovers by Notre Dame early in the ball game and put Miami in very good field position to score. You're going to see one of the interceptions, one of the turnovers by number 54, Jay Brophy, the linebacker, who makes actually an excellent catch, an excellent interception. The other point, I think, Gary, was the inability of Notre Dame to put any pressure on Bernie Kosar.
The executive producer of College Sports is Kevin O'Malley. Today's coverage of the Notre Dame-Miami game was produced by Rick Lasavita and directed by Robert Fishman. Our associate producer was Joe Valerio. Associate Director Craig Silver. Director of Operations Ray Savignano. The Director of Field Operations Martin Sullivan. And the Technical Manager was Spears Mallett. Technical Director William Press. Audio Steve Farmer. And our broadcast associates were Pierce O'Neill and Kenneth Torres. But don't forget NFL doubleheader action starting tomorrow with the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern. Miami came here, they saw, they conquered the Notre Dame mystique. And Howard Snellenberger has extended the state of Miami to the state of the United States. as this Miami football team shuts out Notre Dame for the first time since 1978. Once again, the final score, 20-0. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports.
Now, United flies to Tokyo from more U.S. cities than any other airline. United Airlines makes the Far East far easier.
Monday through Friday, if supper's on the table, chances are either Rather, Brokaw, or Jennings is on the screen. 60 Minutes looks at the Anchorman, Sunday evening on CBS.